Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to yet another AFR broadcast. We're here for round 7 in the AFR Tier 1 and Tier 2 Championship here at Monaco. As usual, I am Kunai Zero, and with me tonight is Psycho.
Good evening, everyone.
Alright, so before we get things started, let's have a quick recap of last week's events. So we were at Spain, Circuit de Catalunya for Tier 1 and 2. Revo ends up taking yet another win, putting his points tally to 133. Now, the interesting thing is, of course, back at Netherlands, Revo had a bit of a mishap, ended up finishing 8th. So with that, Mikau finishing 2nd at Spa, and taking the fastest lap for that matter, has put him 20 points to Revo. So, maybe there's a switch up here, possibly. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, So Potsy currently in 3rd on the table with 58 points. However, did not race last week. So we'll see where he can finish this week. Big Al in 4th, Matt Dabry in 5th, Shrimp in 6th, Panda in 7th, Pacey is in 8th on the board, Geordie in 9th, and combined YouTuber rounds out the top 10. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. We're at Monaco.
We are.
And we all know that Monaco doesn't quite lend itself to overtakes. So I think, as Jacob Meister said in the chat, can't wait for a 39-lap parade. Fair.
Dude, I think we're going to see some busy mechanics today.
I do think so. There's probably a lot of front wings that are going to go missing. Matzoid, that's not aimed at you. So Smitty reckons we'll see Matt Dabry on the podium. Awesome. That's an interesting call. It'll all be about the tyre strategy. Funny you should say that. As Seb, our resident genius, prepared tyre data for us, which we'll go over in qualifying, so we can try and get a little bit more insight as to what these guys can expect going around Monaco. Thank you, Krakat, for the follow as well. I did notice that. You will also see that there is now an overlay which does inform us of those. Let us know if you like that or not. We turned it on, but if it's too distracting or whatnot, let us know. Also, there is an 8-ball in the chat. So for those of you who have questions and want to know, the all-knowing 8-ball will answer them for you. I believe the command is !8ball. There you go. See? Yes. It works. The system works. All right, so drivers are just getting ready. So what do you reckon, Psycho? What are you expecting for tonight?
I'm expecting big things from Panda. He's been very, very consistent, and I've seen some quality times. I'm expecting big things from him. That's my bet. But yeah, it is at Monaco. I'm super excited. It's going to be chaotic. I'm expecting a safety car, lap 1.
Okay.
And then potentially one towards towards the middle-ish of the race, and I'm actually hoping for some rain just to keep it interesting.
Okay. Oh, Smitty. Will I crash? The 8-ball says sure. And that emote is absolute top class. Oh my god. Sorry. Yes. No, I think you're pretty on the track. Look, I feel as though. No, I take that back. Yeah, 10-1's good. I feel like we've raced enough. These guys have raced enough to know. Not only that, but Jeff literally says, "No heroics in Descent Devo, please." So
he only says that every single time.
Yeah. But everyone wants track position. Track position is so very important here at Monaco. There's only one DRS zone, and it really doesn't do that much. So, yeah, it's going to be a shamble. But yes, as Jacob said earlier in the chat, it will definitely be tyre strategy that reigns supreme tonight. So we'll see how everyone goes. We'll see what AWS says.
As far as overtakes go, I'm quite curious to see how these guys are going to pull it off. The only place I really see it happening consistently is maybe a dive into Sandevot, just not lap 1, please. Or maybe a dive into the Neuville chicane. Short of that, I think it's even around Raskas, it's quite difficult to pull off an overtake.
Yeah, so the Neuville chicane is definitely one of those places where you can brake later, but you do have to be aware because that chicane is straight up 90 degrees. So you can go in late, you can lock up if you want to, but that can go really, really bad. We also saw last year, if I remember correctly, there was an incident where Revo was trying to overtake Matuid, I think, coming into turn 1, and they ended up colliding and pushing over into the wall. So I think you'll see a lot of bravery going through, Massenet Casino. I think we'll see as they go up Beau Rivage. You'll see a lot of that, and definitely the tunnel into the Neuville chicane. I think we also saw, I think last year I saw, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure someone overtook on the hairpin as well. They went on the outside, which was interesting. You're not going to see that. That's a one-off occurrence, I reckon. Maybe I've given them an idea. Who knows?
See Smitty in the chat. Will Revo win? April's like, yeah.
Yeah. See, it knows.
That's actually really funny.
The power of AI learning. All right, let us jump into the action. We are here in the qualifying session. Let us get set up as Codemasters never ever remember my settings. Because why would they? Let us get all of this ready. And we'll
Kind
see.
of a small grid today, only 16 cars.
Yes, that is true. There is only 16 cars. Interesting. Okay, so maybe we will have a good turn 1. Does 4 cars really change that? Don't know. Also, Bandcamp is letting us know in the chat that it is an all-dry session and race. So that is going to be one less variable to be thrown in. We can see one of the McLarens is coming out of the pits now. I believe that it is Jordy. Nope, it was his teammate.
I like how the Mercedes guy comes out and then he bothers to check left before sending the Mercedes out.
You can never be too safe.
He's like, maybe. No? Okay.
Can never be too safe. Alright, so Apollo, as per usual, first car out on track. So we'll see what kind of time he can set as he makes his way into tunnel now. So basically, looking at the tyre data that's been supplied to us, it seems as though with the C5, C4, C3 soft tyre, of course being the C5, that it takes about 10, 11 laps to get to around 70% wear, the medium tyre 23 and the hard tyre 28. You're looking at an average lap time of about 1 minute 13. So you're looking at like the average wear per lap, 6.5% on the softs, 3% on the mediums, and with the off feel. So with the softs at about 15%, you really start to notice, and then it really starts to affect your car. So it'll be interesting to see how they develop these strategies throughout the race. I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot of varying ones. Oh, it's Apollo! Collects that wall, and that is definitely a front wing gone. Yep, there's the end plate, and also that back section. That's rough.
Revo's coming through for his first hot lap. I believe, unless I've been lied to, I believe he can get into the 7s.
That is actually stupid. But we'll see. You can see that he's slowed down there, letting Shrimp past his teammate. We all know what's coming now. There's zero doubt in my mind. There will be a slipstream setup here.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes. We'll stay on board with him. He may when he crosses the line, and we'll see what Revo can set. There's a couple of guys on outlaps now. The majority of people are out on the track. Mikau is still in the pits, so he's still fine-tuning his setup before he jumps out. So on board with our championship leader at the moment, as Shrimp sets a 109.97. Here we go, up through Massenet into Casino, down to 4th gear. As you there, getting a little bit sideways, but catching the car. All the way down, probably into, leaving it into 3rd. Let's talk to the tyres. Down into 1st for the hairpin. A little bit wide, but yeah, it goes through. So Matt Dabry through with a 110.1. Red Panda, his teammate, right behind with a 110.2. Geordie for McLaren, 110.365. Major Payne in the Ferrari with a 110.518. And T-Mac with a 110.709. Flyboy, the Mercedes with a 110.912. Ali on 12.2. Bandcamp with a 112.6. Revo coming around that final sector now. Let's have a look. What will we see on that board? It's looking like a blister of a time so far. There's the DRS zone, and he'll cross the line. Ooh, with a 108.2.
Oh,
that is crazy quick.
That's insane.
That is crazy quick.
Like Jacob Meister in the chat saying the walls are now pink.
Yep. That's what happens when the racing point gets a little bit too close for comfort. I only just read that. Don't understand the hype about this Revo guy. His best lap is literally a 115. Top class meme, sir. Revo is the fastest racer in the world. Well, I don't know if I'd say he's the fastest racer. He's definitely up there, though. And we'll see. Maybe one day, hopefully, he'll get himself into the Pro Series.
Definitely top 30.
Yeah. With an interesting shortcut there. Is this Revo's alt account? Yeah. Oh, well, he admitted it. All right, so Mikau now coming around the final sector. Let's have a look. What can he set? Currently number 2 on that championship board. Oh, Jesus. Already coming out into that pit lane. So it's actually ridiculous how quick these cars are this year on a track like Monaco. You add more and more and more and more and more downforce.
It is scary. It's terrible. To be honest, if you look down, like as you corner and you actually look at the speedo, it's terrifying to think of the speed you're actually taking corners at.
Mm-hmm. Race drivers do have a particular knack. Well, most of them do feel fear, but it's in a different way. Like, they just sort of process and go, man, we can go faster. Ooh, Mikau! He does invalidate on that. So you can do that on that chicane. You can, as long as you've got that left tire on the track, it will usually give you that. But it looks like he was just a little bit too far to the right then ended up canning his lap, so that will cancel. I wonder if
Must
he's
have
got
been
enough
inches.
ERS in the tank to go for another one.
He must.
Have a look. We'll stay on board. 10 minutes, 37 seconds left in this session. Revo on provisional pole with a time that I don't think anyone's going to match, but I'll see. T-Mac currently in second, Shrimp holding up that third position. Mikau invalidating his first lap, so now we're looking for an improvement to actually set a time. Interested to see just how close he can get to Revo's initial time. I can only imagine Revo's going to go for that sub 108.
He definitely will.
Through the tunnel, we'll never get sick of that. Does he clip the corner right? He takes it a little bit wider, so he plays
way too deep.
Yep, he plays the safe game, but that will scrub a lot of time doing so. However, let's see. Once he hits that corner, it'll be at the 1 minute mark. That's good. Where are we going to look? I think we'll probably still hit probably low nines.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, a 109.7.
Ooh, 97.
He manages to shoot up into third there as Shrimp gets up just above him with a 109.704, forcing T-Mac down 2 spots. As Revo is on his outlap again.
Really impressive time by Shrimp, actually.
Yeah, very well done there. Let's, where's Revo on his lap? Going through the tunnel now? Okay.
Oh, Flyboy.
Wow, he just jumped up into 4th place there with a 109.819. So, interestingly enough, both Alfa Romeos take out that front row, and then both of the Mercedes take out the second row.
That's quite cool, actually.
As Red Panda puts that to absolute shame, manages to split up the Alfa Romeos there. So Red Panda puts himself into second, showing that promise that you alluded to earlier with a 109.567. 8 minutes and 24 seconds on the clock. We're on board with Revo. We're going to see if he can improve on that 108 time.
But how are we?
He's absolutely sending it.
Wow, that is a lot of speed carried through Casino there.
He's also not letting any of the track go to waste.
That is true, and that's key. You want to make sure you use all the. Well, with Monaco, you don't have like extra track. There's just walls, so
Yep.
you really do have to stay within that the black bit. But let's see, goes through here. Oh, lock up on that front, but it's still. Oh! No! Well, that's a problem. That is a problem. Big Al has crashed just before in the Novell chicane. That has impeded Revo's lap, and he's lost an end plate there. But he did hit the side wall, so that will that'll be a development. He'll obviously come into the pits there, as you can see Tokyo drifting his way through. Oof, not good, but that is unfortunate for Big Al. That's him out of this session.
Big Al being our first victim.
It's a rough one.
It is difficult getting any sort of decent traction out of that chicane, especially if you do cut it and you've still got 1 or 2 tires on the curbs. It's very difficult to get good traction out of there, and if you're not careful, you will put it in the wall.
You do need precision around a track like this. Also, thank you for the follow, SS George and Ryan. Much appreciated. Smitty in the chat ghosting off. They said, yeah, that is true. That would be very.
That would have been the end of Revo's qualifying.
Geordie now might get held up by the car in front. Oh, this is the danger you run in a place like Monaco. Mikau is definitely slow. How did he dodge? How did he get past that? Oh, that was millimeter perfect there. But I'm not sure what his time's going to look like hugging that inside wall to try and minimize it. He does jump up. It is an improvement of around 3.5 tenths.
Good job, Geordie.
Geordie moves up into 8th there with a 110.004. The jump on with Flyboy here as he makes his way through that final sector. Improving his time at all. 5 minutes, 20 seconds left on the clock there.
Pondit in chat's mega excited for tonight.
Looking forward to the two new bugs.
I think Mikhail might have tapped the wall. Yeah, he did. Lost a bit of front wing.
Oh, Flyboy's already invalidated. That's interesting. Or is that a bug? I don't know. When someone joins and leaves, everyone's game freezes for a second. Oh, cool. Also, a new safety car bug where people get illegals on each other. Oh, wow. Okay. Can't wait. I really hope that doesn't happen.
That's just going to be terrible.
I really hope that doesn't happen. That sounds horrible. As Flyboy goes past Silver's Ferrari there. It looks like Silver was a late join into the session, but he is here.
He made it. We're up to 17 cars.
4 minutes left on that clock. Revo still holding that pole position with a 108.2. Fortunately couldn't improve due to the incident there with Big Al as Flyboy comes into the pits. Let's jump on board with T-Mac driving for the Williams team. Currently 7th with a 109.94. See if he can improve at all.
It's not a good time to be out on track, actually.
There we go, as the AlphaTauri goes screaming past. See, I would be absolutely crapping my pants. Can you imagine being on a slow lap on Monaco and you look into your side mirror and a Formula 1 car is barreling down at you? No thanks.
I think this track, more than any other, these guys really rely on the engineers to tell them just where to be.
Yeah, well, you definitely have, communications based on that. You would also have, I believe, there are lights around the track to let you know if you're going slower. But I don't know if blue flags apply in qualifying. Like, would the marshals let you know? Sometimes it's not. Oh, T-Mac! Not good, not good. Okay, I don't know how that wasn't invalidated, but sure. However, T-Mac has lost both end plates and the back structure of the left side of that wing. So
that's his qualifying rough. Over.
That is rough. Everybody spamming that 8-ball. It's working overtime. Pondon win, who knows? LJM retire might actually be yes. Oh, I love that. That is the best addition to this channel, I reckon. I love that thing so much.
You've done well.
All right. The T-Mac will obviously have to come in, fix that front wing. Let's see, who is ready to set a lap soon? I think Gordy might be.
Look at that. So there was a bit of a train. It's sort of dissipated now on the back straight.
So we have 1 minute. Well, there's about 3 minutes, obviously, because we've got Desync here as spectators. Revo currently about to finish his outlap. His teammate close behind. So we'll see if Revo can indeed beat that 108.2. Up through Rivage, Massenet, into Casino.
I like how the two Alfa Romeos out of the two Mercedes are right behind them.
Wahid is retired from the session there. Is that on track? No. That's okay. So Wahid, Ali, both out. So Wahid with a 110.9, Ali with a 112.2, 15th, 16th, respectively. And into the chicane.
Wow.
Validated. That's good. Oh, but he's cut it. So something up with Revo there.
Is he going for another one?
It looks like it. I don't think he was happy with that. So there's the slowdown. So at this point, everyone has set a time. Stay on board. Major Payne retires from the session there, a 110.060, currently 11th. Rough day for Bandcamp with a 112.69. He will start last on the grid.
So Revo's out for his last lap. Mikhail was out. I think it's just Revo and Shrimp at the moment.
Mikhail has retired from the session. He will sit 5th at the moment with a 109.733. Great job, I have to say, from Matt Dabry and Red Panda.
Oh yeah.
Look at them. Second
You can
and
see
third.
they put in the practice.
Yeah, with a 109.53 and a 109.5. Oh, as Geordie crosses the line with a 109.463. There were yellow flags up there. I don't think that's going to impede Revo at all, but it is in a validation.
Valid.
So he will not improve on his time. However, he will still hold on to pole position with that 108.2. He crosses the line, and that is done. Oh my god, it was a 107.8.
The 107.8?
It was a 107.8, but it was but obviously invalidated, so that will not count. So Revo will hold pole position, but Geordie comes out with that last lap banger. A 109.463, and he will start alongside at the front of the grid. Matt Dabry is still on a lap, I think, but according to that sector time, he's invalidated as well, so he'll just come into the pits. Oh, no, he'll put it right into the wall. That works too.
I love it. Absolutely love it.
Works too. Okay, so...
Man, Geordie coming in guns blazing. And isn't it just absolutely ridiculous that Revo is 1.2 seconds clear of second place?
Yes. Yes. It's a bit ridiculous. It is. But that's Revo for you. So Revo stands at the top of the table there, 108.2. Geordie with an amazing time there in second, a 109.4. Matt Dabry and Red Panda, third and fourth respectively, 109.53, 109.56. Shrimp starts fifth with a 109.7. Mick Howe with a 109.733. Silver will start in seventh there with a 109.8. Flyboy with a 109.819. T-Mac in ninth with a 109.9. And Apollo will round out the top 10 with a 110.0. Now we just got to wait for that countdown timer to go, and then we should be able to...
Just like to point out how close these guys are between second and 15th is not a big gap.
No, it is fairly close. Also, I think may have snuck in here without me knowing. Are you here, Seb?
Yes, sir. I'm trying to get my camera to work though.
Oh, I have no. Okay, sorry. If I had no idea you were in here, I just noticed it because it came up saying that you left the session. I'm like, wait, what? But that's okay. All right, how are you doing, sir?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Not too bad. You just cut in. We talk too much. Oh, okay. So that was an interesting qualifying session. That is a very tight middle section, as Joshua Danger points out. Yes, it is. So it'll be interesting to see how this develops over the course of the race.
Seb, what are you expecting tire wise?
Oof.
Obviously, everyone qualifying on the softs.
To be honest, I'm not sure what's going to happen. because this track position is obviously everything. It is almost impossible with how wide and long these cars is. It is to overtake. So I'm expecting people to try to pit into gaps. I'm expecting maybe you could see some people pitting lap one, going onto hards, and they're just trying to build from there. Lap one, there's definitely going to be incidents. If there's not an incident tonight, then I'll be very surprised, especially if there's not a safety car as well.
It'll definitely be a miracle if this goes on without a hitch. Fair enough.
I've already called a lap one safety car.
We'll see with that one. Thank you for the follow, Redbeard. Also,
I'm interested to see how many wings come off at the hairpins.
Actually, I have another prediction, but this is for tier 2. Someone will lose part of their wing in the formation lap.
If only that were possible. Oh.
I say that because Revo did just hit the wall.
As they all come through, Revo leading the pack there. And you can see the... thank you, Mehmet, for the follow. So as you can see there, Revo leading the pack, Geordie behind, Matt Dabry, Red Panda following suit. So, interestingly, Silver, the only person in the top 10 to start on the mediums.
Sorry, I missed the Mimi must have qualified on mediums. I missed that.
Did he qualify on mediums? I think Stars.
I don't remember. It might be a glitch, but there's no other reason for him being on mediums apart from him qualifying on mediums.
Yeah. Apparently he qualified on softs. I didn't notice though, so we'll have to look into that, but that's okay. Everyone outside the top 10 is on mediums except for Wahid. He seems to have chosen to start on the hards, so he'll be looking for a very, very long early stint. Also, thank you for the follow, Cunch. Very much.
I was trying to work out what word you're trying to say then.
I think that's totally wrong. I'm not great with words. Says the commentator. Spec him for a tick. Is he actually on mediums? Let's find out. Yes! At least they're painted yellow. So we'll see what happens there. Alright, so here is the end.
Jimmy situation all over again.
Yeah. So here is the end of the formation lap. We just wait for everybody to line up there. I also love how the camera doesn't change until the lights come up.
It's great, isn't it?
Great one. Okay. The 5 red lights that mean absolutely nothing. We've just got to wait for everybody to take off. And there it is. The start of the race. Revo takes off. Geordie close behind. Let's have a look. What chaos ensues. So it looks like they're all getting through pretty well. The Ferrari side by side, but no damage is caused. And as it stands, it seems pretty clean.
That was actually a good clean start.
Boy there. Oh, forcing Matt's out a little bit, but no damage, so everything's still kosher. I love it. Because the track is so tight, you can stay at like 10th place and see everyone. Oh!
Oh, Ali!
There's a bit of a pile up there. That's not good.
Ali hit the back of Big Al.
That's not good at all.
Did I just see T-Mac get a 3-second?
I believe so. I believe T-Mac did pick up a penalty there. Here we go, lap 1. I guess 1 incident so far that we've seen. Everyone's still close together. Let's jump up here to Red Panda. Chasing Geordie now. Across that line. Vivo says the fastest lap.
Expect these tires to lose all the pace in 3 laps.
The softs.
Mm-hmm.
So have a look at that. Jacob Meister asks the 8-ball. The 8-ball says no. Ooh. Matt Dabry close behind. It's Red Panda chasing the McLaren. We'll have a quick cut. Let's have a look and see if we can assess what happened to that hairpin. So we're on board with Flyboy here as they make their way down. And then there just seems to be like a concertina effect that affects Looks like it was the Haas, and then bang, there it is. There's the hit, and then it looks like, I believe, Combined got caught up in that as well.
That was, yeah. That happens tough, especially the first go around. It's not weird at all for the cars to actually completely stop going around it.
Having a look at these times, it's all floating around that 4/10th mark. I'll just jump on board with Silver here, who's really encroaching up onto Shrimp.
Silver would already have gotten one warning. He cut the swimming pool chicane.
Ah, naughty boy. So lap 3, which means DRS is enabled, which is a absolutely...
There you go.
Yep, there it is, which is a useless sentence. But it looks like he might make a move here on Shrimp. Looks to the left into Massenet. Nope, decides to take the safer option. Oh, does he go deep? No, it has to look up there to make sure
Wow.
the collision is avoided. As Red Panda picks up a 3-second time penalty there. They're coming hard and fast here at Monaco. Thank you, Joshua. I try my best.
Silver maybe looking for a dive.
Oh,
that
and he
was
taps
Kane.
him. And he taps him. I knew it. That was going to happen. You can dive bomb the Novell chicane, but you have to be sure you can stop. It's too risky. Luckily, it looks like Shrimp didn't get any damage. He was spun, but of course, being Monaco and so tight, he gets his track position back anyway. So as it stands, it's okay. Apollo doing a little bit of weaving behind. It looks like he got affected. Let's jump on board with him. We'll watch everything from his perspective. As they chase up through Rivage now. Thank you for the follow, Joshua. Much appreciated.
I think I saw some carbon fiber fly past Apollo. Matt Dabry gets past Red Panda.
It's going to be a track where looking back is going to be actually... Oh! What was that? Actually,
Red Panda was in the wall. Oh!
Yeah, that looks bad. You can see Red Panda just off to the right there. Oh, and he hits that. There's the carbon. Oh my god. Thank God for halos.
That seems to be because of the hairpin. I reckon Matt and Red Panda went side by side, and Red Panda, got squeezed out.
Perhaps you're trying to get past Panda now. Panda's holding him up.
Your follows coming in left and right. Thank you, Andeezy and Cement 20,000. That has to be a contender for Name of the Year. I love it. Adam T Media as well. Thank you so much for the follow. Jacob Muster, you look back for 1 second, and the Rebel. This is my life. Do you know how hard it is sometimes to deal with cameras? Every time I try to do something cool, and then it happens off camera. Apollo did lose a ton of time there. He's dropped back. Let's jump up with Silver now. In 5th, trying to chase down Shrimp again.
Mick has put onto the hards, I believe.
So Mikau and Red Panda both in the... Well, Red Panda was definitely coming into the pits. There's no doubt about that. But yes, you're right. You're right, Seb. Mikau has indeed changed to the hards now. So is that a end? Is that going to the end?
That can go to the end, I believe. It's very tactical, because considering he was kind of in, I'm pretty sure, 6th, 7th place when he pitted. So it's kind of in no man's land, so...
I'm curious about Red Panda's strategy now. He's obviously pitted, so he's put on a set of mediums. I don't think that's going to last, is it, Seb?
No, those mediums won't last. He'll definitely have to pit again. He's probably praying for the safety car, which is not a bad prayer to have at this circuit.
Yep.
Here we are, the DRS section, and as stated previously, it does nothing. So it's just a flavour feature right now. But Silver is maintaining that gap. One of a couple who are actually within that 1 second. Mattoid is also encroaching onto the back of Flyboy. Big Al is catching up to Major Payne. Another Ferrari in this session. Dave Master in the chat there. Everyone's keeping it clean. Don't know if you can rely on a safety car. People are fanning out. That is true. But as fatigue sets in, which is totally a thing, you might start to see lapses of judgment into corners and such. So we'll probably see. I would hope for no safety car because I would love to see a full clean race. But I feel like it's inevitable.
Someone's going to get frustrated behind someone else. And they're going to go for something silly. It's not going to end well.
For the follow, JGSC, much appreciated.
Silva must be getting frustrated behind Shrimp. He's got a lot more pace, but he just can't get past him.
Needs to save over that ERS, I reckon. Yeah, just keep behind him. He's on the better tyres as well, so save up for one more lap and then maybe go for a move.
But Flyboy has just come into the pits there. Looks like he'll be switching onto the hards as well. The last stint as Whitehead and Bandcamp make up the positions.
Silva making a dive. Oh,
he tries.
Oh,
He squeezes past, and that has allowed Apollo to catch up now. Smitty, I'm scared for everyone right now. And Coach in the chat there, this makes me want to go do some laps. Well, Silva is fighting. He looks for that inside line. It didn't go well the last time, and it happens again. Silva,
that's the same thing again.
he tries to stop. He can't stop in time. Ends up pushing Shrimp across the Novell chicane. Now, hopefully, Shrimp doesn't get warnings for that, because otherwise that might come back really, really bad. Obviously, he can appeal to the stewards for that, but Silva does have to keep in mind, you have to be able to stop. Right now, he's just diving too deep. It's just not going to happen for you.
It's like he's getting caught between two minds. I'm watching that, I'm thinking you have to either commit and get fully alongside him so that he has to give you the respect and will give you the corner, or you just have to back out completely.
We've got a virtual safety car.
Red Panda.
Red Panda has DNF'd. Where is he? Just outside Tabac.
Oh, yep. Tabac caught him out.
Jump on board with Ali here. We'll see if we can catch Red Panda.
Flyboy apparently offered the cane. I'm reading the chat right now.
As we come around here, there it is. Red Panda off, and he's missing both. That's just a glitch there. That's okay. The Red Panda crashed there. And the VSC is out. Now would be pit time.
This has not worked out well.
No, it's safety car.
That's pit time for some.
So that's out now. DRS is back on. Lap 8 of 39. Who is in close range here? It looks like Matt Soyd. Driving for AlphaTauri this season. Also, oh man, these follows are coming in way too fast. F3, thank you very much, Jay Bennett and Jason. Thank you very, very much.
Shrimp pits. Silva gets some clean air.
What he needs. He has to make most of it now because those hards, they'll come to life in about 3-4 laps. So
hello there, Jason. Thank you for watching.
I think our next overtake. Mikau in the pits.
again,
He's got damage.
Front wing. Yep.
And this is Monaco takes no prisoners.
it's gone onto the mediums. Can't stay on those hards. You have to pit onto different tyres.
So T-Max on 8 laps of wear on those soft tyres. He is definitely feeling that. Matzoid is catching him throughout each sector as they come through tunnel. See in that hairpin, he was very, very close. But the problem is that just Matzoid's not close enough to really make an attack. I guess the main straight's probably the only place, possibly through Rivage.
The tunnel, if you have enough ERS, and the guy in front doesn't have ERS.
That is true.
It's just he seems pretty complacent sitting behind.
Stopping is an issue when you get to Novell. Oh, T-Mac! Jesus, what was that? What was that? Okay, and T-Mac comes into the pits there. He's definitely feeling the wear. As let's just have a look at that. So here we go. You can see T-Mac at the front. So I guess just a little bit too much torque on those rear tires. Let's have a look.
If you take that curb on in that left hand or right, you can really get it. But he's lit it up, as you said, on the exit.
That was, yeah, he's definitely gone over that bump, but a little bit too much on those rear tyres. Luckily, caught it. No damage.
Shrimp on Bandcamp, side by side in the centre. Ship squeezes him out around the outside.
Oh, that's a great move there. A little bit too late to switch over, but Shrimp moves up one. Bandcamp is on the longer wear tyres. Shrimp on those fresh mediums. Thank you for the follow, VXR to you. Flev in the chat. Revo already plus 16. I don't know if you're new to here, but that's just a common occurrence. Oh yeah, Revo in the pits now and switches over to the fresh mediums as we have a Sector 1 yellow flag. It looks like one of the Haas cars just going a little bit wide.
I believe Revo may be able to take those to the end.
Jump on board with Shrimp. Is now catching up Wahid on those hard tyres. So definitely the slower compound. And considering how close... Oh, Wahid! Whew! Lucky not to put that in the wall. Jesus! That was interesting. There's Wahid there, and then as he comes round, Raskas, just a little bit too many beans. Woo! Very lucky not to bin it there. Zali picks up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings.
It's actually playing into Shrimp's hands now. He's able. This is that though. Getting past Band.
Ali has crashed. Ali has crashed in the same spot. To back. It's the same place. It's the same place that Red Panda got caught out. I'm sensing curse. Anyone else feel curse?
Tobacco is dangerous. Oh, Geordie! Very lucky. Ali's car despawned as Geordie came through, and Geordie was going far too fast to avoid him.
Alright, well, there's the VSC gone. Car has been removed because, obviously, our officials work fast.
I was waiting for a VSC just so I was able to join.
So, lap 12 of 39. We still have more than half the race to go. Silva is currently leading this race, but I'm sure Revo will catch up in no time at all. There are a couple of cars within striking distance, Apollo Pepsi being one of them as he chases Matt Dabry in the Red Bull up through Massenet. The question is, will he pull the trigger? Apollo Pepsi, one of those drivers, very talented, but just a bit unlucky. Gets caught out sometimes in the worst situations.
Revo and Silva, side by side. Ow!
Silva
Squeezes him.
Silva takes a 3-second time penalty there as well. Oh, and through tunnel, Matt Dabry has found so much speed. But Pepsi won't be able to catch up there. Interesting. They're both on fresh mediums. But it looks like Apollo does not have that pace anymore. And, might just blow it. Yep, he's already blown out past that 1 second mark, so there goes the DRS chance. Switch over to Big Al here, driving for Team Haas, chasing up the Ferrari.
All over Major Payne. Seems very eager to get past.
Revo back on top. Rest of the drivers make their way through this grid. Big Al does have a chance here, but he has to bide his time. Don't do anything silly. He has a lot of ERS in the bag. Major Payne gets a tiny bit sideways through Portier.
Geordie is actually in a net P2 at the moment. He just has to be a bit more careful because he's got 6 seconds of penalties now. And that's going to hurt him towards the end of the race.
Monaco has some of the best camera angles for spectators. As we have a Sector 2 yellow flag, and I see one of the racing points in the wall. And it's Apollo. Yep.
Was it Pepsi?
Yep. Shrimp just overtook him. Apollo Pepsi loses that position there. Not sure what happened through the chicane. I would assume he went a little bit too hot.
No damage though.
Matt Dabry picks up a 3-second time penalty. These are gonna really affect later on. Thank you for the follow, Sway. Much appreciated.
Pepsi are really keen to get back past Shrimp.
He's looking. By that track back though. I'll have to have a look. Thank you, Electro Spark. Has he as well? Oh, let's keep on top of these follows. It's ridiculous. Big Al is doing a really good job here to keep on the back of this Ferrari, but striking distance still not closing as fast as he'd like.
Flyboy's pretty close to Bandcamp.
I reckon Big Al should pull an undercut here, just whip onto the hards. If he's fast enough, which I believe he thinks he is, then it's a good idea just to try and gain some positions on Major Payne, even Matt possibly.
SM Fortnite, hello. Thank you for watching. And the follow. Yeah. Big Al. Still within the 1 second, but Monaco showing us why some call it a parade. Very, very difficult to overtake. I mean, if you're a driver like Silver, you definitely try, but sometimes it just escapes your grasp. I'm keeping an eye on Flyboy there. His delta is seeming to close up. Bandcamp there. Let's switch to him as they come up through Massenet now. Bandcamp, we know him as the master of defense. Knows exactly where to keep that car, and Flyboy is definitely getting a little bit frustrated. You can see him jerking that wheel back and forth. Looking for an opportunity, but he knows if he goes too deep, either he'll punt Bandcamp, possibly break something. But right now,
Using very low gears. I don't really see people use first gear through that second right-hander leading up to the tunnel.
so do you reckon that's...
That's a second or third gear corner. I normally use third gear when I go through there.
Some people, do you reckon some people are just afraid of spinning? Putting a little bit too much pressure on that right
Well, you don't get anything out of being in first and second gear really there, so you're going to get more wheel spin actually, so putting it in third is the ideal thing. If you watch Revo or any esports driver for that matter, you'll see them in third most of the time.
Those highlighted messages in the chat there.
6-2, or someone spun around. I think Matt's gone for a move on Jordan.
Jordy definitely had an issue there through the chicane as Flyboy is really trying to get past Bandcamp, but it is very, very difficult. He's using his ERS like crazy as well, down to 30% charge, and we're only just into Sector 2. Oh, gives him a nudge. Lets the Renault know. Hey, get out of the way.
That Renault must seem 6 meters wide to Flyboy now.
Actually, aren't they ridiculously wide anyway?
Yeah, these, like I think I said before, these cars are too wide for this circuit and too long as well.
I think they might be like 5 meters or something. It's stupid, right? Someone's going to fact check me and totally correct me, and I'm fine with that. So if you did, just chuck it in chat. How wide is a
8 bits. New wing as well. He's gone into mediums.
The Flyboy is now losing time. He's not able to keep the distance close like he was before. As Holo picks up a 3-second time penalty there. Silver comes into the pits now. He's going to switch on to the
Hards.
We'll run them to the end. There you go. Thank you, Jacob. So Crockcat says, pretty sure they're 2x5. And they're 5.7 meters. So they are 5 meters, 5.7 meters long and 2 meters
Oh,
wide.
man.
Bandcamp. Bandcamp with a mad lock up there. That's going to give Flyboy a bit of an extra shot. Thank you for the follow, Nana. And Sam Pam. Oh, you looked at the outside of a swimming pool. Are you for real?
Jeez.
Listen, Flyboy, just because you drive a Mercedes doesn't give you god tier powers, mate. Nobody does that. I mean, if you'd pulled it off, that's one thing.
Oh, he's gotten greedy on the throttle as well. That killed his run. You had a good chance of getting him there.
I kind of low-key really want to see him overtaking the outside swimming pool. If he can
he's going
successfully
down
do that, of course.
through Sandoval.
I believe T-Max just caught onto the back of Pepsi at this moment.
They are close. Let us jump up. Let's watch Williams there. So T-Mac running 9th at the moment. He's chasing down Apollo Pepsi in the racing point in about 8th position. Thank you for the follow, Dovey, as well.
Flyboy's just...
He-
okay.
Blue flag.
That's why. Blue flag, that's why. I was wondering why they were ghosting and then suddenly pull over to the side.
So lap 19 of 39. 20 laps to go. Oof, T-Mac touching that wall. T-Mac has definitely lost a lot of time because of that. Down at 2.3 seconds now. As Apollo Pepsi does get away from him. Big Al, however. Now, Big Al, interesting camera angle. Big Al chasing down Major Payne here, keeping that at 5/6 tenths.
Matt's caught on as well.
Yes, Matt Dabry's all up in this. Okay, this will be an interesting battle between Big Al and Major Payne. If they actually do scrub, Matt Dabry's going to make up a lot of time to him. See, this is the weird thing with Monaco, right? You expect the difficulty of overtakes, you expect there to be minimal, but at the same time, because of how tight this track is, literally anything can happen.
Matt's edge pitting, hards.
There's the pit window now for the one-stop strategy.
It's going to come out in front of... Oh, it's going to be three-way battle for 6 at the moment, I think. Alright.
Big Al was definitely looking there as Major Payne slowed up at the top of Massenet, but it's just too risky to make an attempt because if Major Payne doesn't see him, they'll come together. Matt Dabry is right up the back of him as well, so Big Al, the cream in the Oreo, shall we say.
Flyboy has he lost about 3 seconds to Bandit, but he's made all of it up again.
Smitty there saying, Matt Dabry podium, I told you. I had no doubts.
Oh, Big Al.
Oh, Jesus, he goes sideways there. And that's allowed Matt Dabry to get past. That's unfortunate for poor Big Al. Not only did he pick up the time penalty there, but then a little bit greedy on the throttle, ends up pushing it sideways. And the Red Bull has absolutely no difficulty getting past. Having said that, let's jump down to 14th, where Flyboy is still stuck behind the banana that is the Renault Formula 1 car. And at this point, he's got to be a bit frustrated.
Oh.
See if he makes an attempt here through.
He's not close enough.
He's just not close enough. You're right there. He's not close enough. So Bandcamp doing a great job holding him off. To play Devil's Avocado, you definitely don't need to do much to hold someone off at Monaco. The walls help with that.
Oh, massive lock up by both of them.
He's trying very, very hard now in the DRS. Oh, see, he loses it. So as Flyboy comes into that DRS trigger, he does get squirrely on those front. So he's losing time then. And then he ends up gaining time, pushing the ERS, and Bandcamp's just like, okay. Stands right in the middle of the track. What are you going to do? There's not really much you can do.
He's on Major Payne right now.
He is closing on. I'll keep an eye on that time.
Oh,
it's dropping down.
Flyboy.
Oh, Flyboy!
Oh.
That's not good. And it's a safety car!
Oh, this is working into Major Payne's hands now.
Oh!
Get
Okay.
Big Al.
So there is a safety car. Just as I was about to switch off to a different driver. So here we go. There's Flyboy chasing Bandcamp down through into Miraboo. Oh, that rhymed. I don't even mean that. I'm sorry. So then he goes into the hairpin, hits the wall, can't stop, bang! Tire wall. And then, safety car for good measure. That's interesting.
Mikau really benefited from that. He pitted at the perfect time just then.
Brought him back into the race.
Came out with fresh mediums.
Alright, so... Oh, okay. Okay, I have... Whoa! Flyboy, Tokyo drifting into the pits there. Now, I have questions, and the questions are thus. 1. Does the safety car restart go without a hitch? Someone 8-ball that. 2. How do tyre strategies change? Do people come in? Do they stay out to keep track position?
It just depends where you are, to be honest.
It's really benefited Major Payne and Big Al because they actually haven't pitted yet, so...
Absolutely. Silver should definitely pit, I reckon. You cannot be on the hards at this point.
Ooh, keeper with a subscription. Thank you very much, sir. Drewsters with the follow. Sorry, Seb. Continue. Just cut you off there.
That's fine. What was I saying before? Oh yeah, I was saying before Matsoid and Silver should have pitted, considering it's hard to, unless you make your car as wide as hell, Big Al's going to have the somewhat of an advantage on those softs. Those softs might die out very quickly.
So Big Al, the only one so far to do that. So let's see here. Major Payne swapped over to the hard compound. Bandcamp has changed into the hard compound. Combined has changed onto the medium compound. Okay, and it looks like Revo, Matt Dabry, they're all happy with what they've chosen.
That's very game by Big Al, slipping with the softs. I think his plan is to try and use them early on, get a couple of positions, and then just hold them off and pray his tyres last.
I don't think they'll last though.
No, that's a long time.
The performance
They last on the performance they drop off by about 3-4 seconds by the end of the stint. They last about 10 laps on full race fuel, so he'll probably get an extra 3 laps out of them, but it's probably going to lose about a lap due to the wear he'll gain under the safety car. So
he's got a good chance of getting a puncture towards the end.
Well, we'll see how it goes. Safety car still coming around. Everyone's starting to bunch up. The only person that's got to catch up is Flyboy there, who obviously had to go in and get a wing done. He'll be trying to catch up. He'll catch up by the end of the lap. That's not a problem. But oh, what are you doing? Oh, I know what he's doing. Bandcamp's trying to catch back up. I didn't realize it was him, and I'm just like, whoa, stay in line. But that's fine. He has to get back.
He hit the wall.
Oh my god, hold on a minute.
No damage. Oh no.
Why he does pick up a 5-second penalty there for ignoring yellow flags. This might have been one of the... This might turn out really, really messy. Also, thank you, Bergquist, for the follow. I did notice that. There's the illegal bug, maybe, possibly.
I think shouldn't Flyboy also be trying to unlock himself?
He could. Oh, T-Mac.
Hold on a minute. So T-Mac just got disqualified.
Did he try to overtake the safety car as well?
Disqualified?
I believe it's from trying to overtake the safety car.
So was T-Mac trying to Oh no, this is not good. This will all have to be analysed at the end of the race, but as it stands, so that means 3 drivers are now out, 14 left. So who is still technically unlapping themselves? Bandcamp and Combined? And Flyboy would be, and Wahid.
Flyboy's trying to unlap himself, but he's struggling a bit.
So Wahid is right. Whoa!
Oh my
That's
God.
yeah.
that Flyboy.
Okay. So Flyboy was trying to unlap himself and gets disqualified.
No.
What is happening? All right. Well. And the safety car is in this lap. So T-Mac here. So basically, banned past me and Wahid and Revo got away with it. I passed Wahid to unlap myself and I get disqualified. Well,
The game is not run how real life is run. So, this is interesting. This is going to be talked about a bit.
all right, here we go. So Wahid is stuck between all of these guys. We'll go through. There's Geordie, Shrimp, Apollo, Matsoid. Shrimp gets a 3-second time penalty there. Silver comes through. Big Al is right up the back of Major Payne. And Major Payne might just make an attack. This is where he's going to use the softs. He'll have to get as much performance out of them in those initial laps to make this worth it.
Just look at his sole application and brake application. He's being very nice to them.
Silver picks up yet another 3-second time penalty. So the two Ferraris are behind each other.
Silver's up to 9 seconds now.
If I had to take a stab, I think Major Payne will overtake Silver at some point, but Big Al really does need to get as many overtakes as possible, as early as possible, so that he can use Monaco's narrow layout to his advantage. Lap 26 of 39. More than 10 laps left. There goes the ERS. Still not enough. He will be behind. Up through Massenet. If he decides to use this overtake button, he might just jump Major Payne, but no, he decides to save the ERS and use it later. Oh, as Matsoid gets forced out to the side there, Silver makes the overtake. That was pretty well done. That was pretty well done, actually. Let's have a quick look at that. You can probably see it from this angle. So there's Silver up there, up through Massenet. Hopefully he doesn't get blocked out. Looks to the left. And yeah, Matsoid just doesn't make that corner right. Bang, there's the overtake. Well done, Silver.
Good move.
Major Payne is looking awfully close to Matsoid now. Something must be up here. Matsoid on the hard compound.
Really close to the inside wall there.
And now Mikau's caught up to Big Al. We've got a tiny train happening. Matsoid is definitely slower through here. DRS has been enabled as Matsoid locks up. Major Payne doing a great job to avoid. And Matsoid comes into the pit, so he might have had damage actually that I'm not aware of. Forward with Mikau. Chasing Big Al. Didn't get a great entry into Saint Devo there.
Big Al needs to get the move done now.
His tires would be hurting.
Woo! Just dodging the back of the Haas. That's the danger of that hairpin. If you're not expecting it. Jacob Meister. AlphaTauri points finish. Apparently the 8 ball says yes. Big Al, all hopes are on you. Unfortunately, Ali with the DNF. Big Al is attacking. Speed is there. He still has the performance. It is dropping rapidly, though. He does have to make some form of move. However, Major Payne being on the hards, the gap is still relevant. Here we go. On the DRS. And there's the Mercedes looming. But not only does Big Al have to try and make the overtake, but he's got to worry about the Mercedes behind him. Keep an eye on those side mirrors.
Big Al's tires are going to start screaming soon.
Oh, Major Payne.
Expecting one more lap.
Come on, Mikhail.
Now they're catching up to Silver. Silver's starting to lose a lot of pace.
The train's formed. Train for 3rd place and the train for 7th.
This is interesting. Mikhail's looking for an overtake. He goes up on the outside of the Novel chicane. They're side by side, and he makes it through.
What a move.
Wow. Good move, Mikhail.
Wow.
Class. That's class right there. Those softs are, well, I'm telling you right now, those softs are gone. Big Al's already dropped off. Yeah.
How did Mikhail do that without picking up a penalty? He was literally millimeter to stay in validation there.
Yeah.
That is wicked.
Respect given from Big Al to Mikhail.
That is wicked. We will have another look at that, but let's stay on board with Mikhail for just a second because it looks like he wants to do that again, but this time with a different Ferrari-powered chassis. The Major Pain in front. Thank you for the follower, Tapper, as well. Much appreciated.
Now, if you were Big Al, he's got 30 seconds to band camp. A pit stop only takes 20. I'd definitely consider swapping tyres.
I would as well. No point in risking it at this point.
Capitan advice, thank you. Silver picks up a 3-second time penalty. That's going to bite him. He's got a lot. He's copped quite a lot of penalties. So right now, Major Pain and Mikhail would be laughing.
If the race were to end right now, Silver would be in 9th position.
Can wing fly off or?
Mikhail, they've still got their stuff.
Look in front.
Here comes Mikhail. Where's the attack? Oh, they're together, and he picks up a 3-second time penalty for being too close on the inside of the corner. And that's allowed Big Al to catch back up, but I don't know if it's going to matter.
Just a heads up, Shrimp's lost the right side of his wing. I believe that was in the swimming pool chicane. And that's yeah, that's the wing I saw flying off.
That's going to hurt.
Thank you for the follow, Dean. I want to look at the overtake, but I can't because these people are too close to each other. Make a move as Matsoid gets the fastest lap of 1:10.792. Now Mikhail's looking to do the same thing, but this time on the inside. But he doesn't have enough speed. So Major Pain will stay in 7th. While we have that lull, replay. Okay. So here comes Big Al down through the tunnel. And I was expecting him to make a move, but instead Mikhail's like, yeah, get out of the way. Goes on the outside. On the outside. Wow.
Mikhail on Major Pain into Stern Devot. Again, he's on the outside.
Oh, and he squeezes past as well. And it looks like Big Al might try this as well.
What happened? Shrimp and Pepsi were fighting. Pepsi had to cut the inside of turn 1, and he's able to get through though.
I thought Big Al. Oh, now a massive train is formed. Now it goes all the way from Geordie to Big Al. Everyone within that 1 second. This might cause some absolute chaos. Let's quickly. Actually, no. Let's just stay on here. We'll stay with Big Al. But who makes the move first? I would say probably Mikhail. We go down through the gears. Silver's very close to Shrimp, so Shrimp has that damage.
Pepsi's been good, hasn't he?
Pepsi in 4th. Wow, okay. I can't say.
But however, I did see he did cut the inside of the corner to make the move done, so that could come under scrutiny.
Pepsi does have 6 seconds worth of penalties as well.
Silver, will he make a move? No, he stays in line, but now comes Massenet. Mikhail had a much better exit than both of those guys. But he's got nowhere to go. Silver is taking... Oh, there goes the wing! No, that's not what we want to see. That's
too ambitious.
Yep, that's going to cause some handling problems.
Oh, Shrimp and Silver now. Yeah, it looked like Mikhail was trying to send one around the outside of Silver and Casino. It's just too close to him, or didn't have the space to do it.
That's gonna hurt Mikhail. Combined on Bandcamp? Oh, close. Not quite.
So Silver's looking very attacky. And we've got a Sector 1 Sector's yellow flag. It's one of the Alpha Tauris. Matzoid's into the wall. Silver just forces his way past. I mean, it worked, but I don't know about that one.
He'll be in here for a podium if he gets within 3 seconds of Jordan. Oh, perhaps he could go for a move here.
Oh, Mikhail, you're trying to squeeze where you can't fit. Oh, and by the way, through all of this, it's grey. The sky is grey. I don't expect any rain, but...
Go for a move on Jordan. He's got it done. That's a great move. Some podium clinching right now. He's just got to pull away. He's got to find 3 seconds on Mikhail at the moment. He's got nearly 5 laps to do it, so...
Mikhail's gonna make the move on Shrimp. He goes on the outside. Shrimp is aware. There's a squeeze. Tough.
Respect. That's a lot of respect right there. Mikhail knows he has to back out. Wasn't his corner.
And he's tapped. He's definitely feeling the pressure and also the effect of that end plate.
Big pain right there as well. But does he have wing missing? No, he doesn't.
It's Shrimp. Shrimp does.
Surprisingly, yeah, Shrimp. Sorry, I'm talking about Major Pain.
Oh, sorry.
The Major Pain does not
Big,
have any.
big Alpha holding on as well. He's doing a good job to look after those tyres.
Silver on Geordie. Nearly. Oh.
He could go for it here. Oh!
The inside! No. Oh.
Nah, he had to back out. He's run into the back of him. Meanwhile, it's just gotten Shrimp close to those two. And Pepsi's already got that 3 second gap on Jordan. Wow, what a drive from him. Been thoroughly impressed with him tonight.
Ooh, Silver picks up yet another 3 second penalty now. As we wind down the final laps of this race, Revo is ahead and ahead by quite a lot, 17 seconds. Oh, there's contact! There's contact and it's heavy. Oh, now he's crashed into the wall and lost wing. That is, I'm just gonna straight out say it. That's gonna get looked at. I mean, that was a massive force.
Safety car. I've got this on record, so
that was a massive force. Let's have a quick look at that again. As Geordie leaves the session with that heavy damage.
There's no front wing. Bandcamp point position now. Point scoring position. Just from keeping clean.
So there you go. So he comes in there and just doesn't stop. Look at that! Oh, double touch there. Geordie has nowhere to go. He gets tapped out and then ends up hitting the outside. That is not a good look. It's not a good look at all. That makes 4 drivers. Oh, sorry. That's... Geordie's still technically in the race. So VSC conditions. Silver ahead of that train. I don't like the look of that. So
Mikhail. Oh no, he's got 3 seconds. Never mind.
Also, thank you for the follow, Pro Gamer Boy. Much appreciated.
Just looking at that Silver incident with Jordan, originally I was thinking, oh, Jordan hasn't given him enough space, but when you look at it again, Silver's not nearly alongside enough to be fighting into...
No, he definitely taps the rear tyre of Jordan there with his front left. There's no alongside, it just seems like really bad.
On the main straight, outside.
Mikhail gets the job done, but can he break in time for the corner?
Oh.
He does, and Major Pain! Oh, this cut! Whoa, I don't know where I can't follow.
Oh.
crazy.
I cannot follow. Thank you for the follow, Assyrian. I have no words.
Oh.
Let's try and break that. Big Al sideways!
It's getting too greedy on the tyres now.
Oh no!
Shrimp has barely any wing. Big Al has no tyres and half a wing.
Oh, Big Al.
So alright, I'm not... note to self, multiple replays. Okay, so, let's have a look. So this was Mikhail making the move. He goes on the outside, and that's all kosher, but then when he goes to brake, he gets caught out a little bit. Major Pain comes into the fray, and then everybody starts collecting everybody. There's ghosting.
Oh.
And then later on, obviously, Big Al spins, bang, right into the wall. Now, he's not
Move up.
out of the race, but it's still bad.
Mikhail's got some heavy damage now that he's carrying. Oh, he's missing half a wing.
Yeah.
Thank you for the follow, Riddle and Nigel. As we lap here, so lap 38 to 39, we have about a lap and a half left in this race. Right now, Combined is trying to catch up to Bandcamp here. Words! Bandcamp. Bandcamp is currently in 9th position, so both of these guys in the points. Combined is pretty damn close, so if he comes into this DRS with the ERS there, he can probably catch it. Maybe not, because Bandcamp probably has a lot of ERS saved up. He tends to do that. So is it a Massenet attack? No.
Gotta go for a surprise move. He needs to try and save this ERS and go for a surprise move at the no-fail chicane.
That's going to be a difficult one. So let's keep an eye on here. So Revo coming around the hairpin now.
I've got to give driver of the day to Mikhail. He started all right. Obviously got in a bit of a scrap at the start. Took 2 pit stops. Went down to, what I think, 13th, 14th. And managed to claw his way back up to 5th.
Oh, Shrimp picks up a 3-second time penalty there.
My driver of the day is Pepsi. He's impressed me thoroughly today.
So here we go. Lap 39. Final lap of this race. Revo out ahead by 22 seconds. He will come around Raskas, and the final corner comes down towards that finish line, and he will take the win here at Monaco, and another 25 points to boot.
It's starting to rain, I think, as well.
Yep, the rain comes right at the end. Bandcamp and Combined both cross the line there, 8th and 9th respectively. Geordie as well, as we follow these others. Now, an interesting tidbit here is that Major Pain is very, very close to Mikhail here. I'm just going to jump on board. I don't think he'll be able to make an attack, considering the status of the tyres there. Mikhail does have damage, but...
They both have damage,
yeah.
pretty sure.
The rain starts to fall, so Matt Dabry there. Apollo crossing in 3rd, and I have to say, absolute props to you. What a drive, so well-deserved 3rd position.
Mikhail get P4 here.
And Mikhail jumps,
a podium.
and there goes Major Pain as well, both jumping up, and Shrimp now coming around as Wahid picks up a 5-second time penalty as unserved. And Shrimp now the last car on track. Come around that corner, he will cross the line there, and he will stay. He might jump up into, no, he'll stay 7. Yeah. But that was a race.
That was.
That was a race. Who is the driver of the day? Bandcamp. Well done, sir.
I kept it clean, fair enough.
Code Masters picks you. Thank you for the follow, Astro Gamer, as well. So there is the winner there, but the real talking point. Have a look at Apollo Pepsi there on the podium. Absolute drive, lad. Great drive.
He had some good moves as well. Kept it clean and then was able to pull away and did what was necessary. Didn't overdo it, just did what was necessary. So kudos to him.
Yes, indeed. That was a great drive from everyone involved. So Revo takes the win. Matt Dabry on 2nd place. Great job to you as well. Apollo Pepsi with the 3rd place finish. Mikhail, unfortunate with that damage. but he does squeeze up decent amount of points, jumps up into 4th there. Major Payne in 5th. Silver finishes 6th, but there might be some words there. Shrimp up into 7th place. Bandcamp finishes 8th, so he brings back some points there for the Renault team. And Combined and Geordie round out that top 10. An unfortunate finish for Ali, Red Panda, Flyboy, and T-Mac, all with a DNF. T-Mac with that disqualification. Wahid coming up there in 13th. Matzoid just ahead. All right. Hopefully you guys enjoy that. That is Tier 1, but don't go anywhere. Tier 2 is just around the corner. I'd like to thank Psycho and Seb for joining me in the box. It'll be a short break, and we'll be back with you soon.
See you guys.
I just realized I've built walls a mile high to protect my heart, but now I'm all alone, stuck on the inside. The heart doesn't need a castle, it needs a bridge. Been too scared that I unravel. Brick by brick, I built these walls. Now I know that I am strong. Just watch me tear them down. I'm gonna tear them down. If it couldn't break your heart, is it really love? If it can't tear you apart, is it really love? Just watch me march towards the battle. I'm gonna tear down this castle. I'm gonna tear down this castle. I'm gonna tear down this castle. Watch me march. If it couldn't break your heart, is it really love? If it can't tear you apart, is it really love? If it couldn't break your heart, is it really love? If it can't tear you apart, is it really love? I criticized myself for trusting lies. I know I can't hide, 'cause then I'd be alone, stuck on the inside. The heart doesn't need a castle, it needs a bridge. Been too scared that I unravel. Brick by brick, I built these walls. Now I know that I'm enough. Just watch me tear them down. I'm gonna tear them down. If it couldn't break your heart, is it really love? If it can't tear you apart, is it really love? Just watch me march towards the battle. I'm gonna tear down this castle. I'm gonna tear down this castle. I'm gonna tear down this castle. Watch me march. If it couldn't break your heart, is it really love? If it can't tear you apart, is it really love? If it couldn't break your heart, is it really love? If it can't tear you apart, is it really love? trail and the love's in your mind and the love's in your head. Let me escape from this unlove, cause I'm a prisoner. I just want to look my way and never back to you. Ooh, I'm not above it. Let me be myself. I'm not above it. Let me be myself. Let me be myself. Let me be myself. I'm not above it. Let me be myself. I'm not above it. I don't know where I am, I don't know where you take me, I don't know where you take me. I just follow your trail and the love's in your mind and the love's in your head. Let me escape from this unlove, cause I'm a prisoner. I just want to look my way and never back to you. Ooh, I'm not above it. Let me be myself. I'm not above it. Let me be myself. Let me be myself. Let me be myself. Let me be myself. I'm not above it. Let me be myself. I'm not above it. Let me be myself.
Took a swing at a wrecking ball and I prayed for my downfall, and I found a way to reconcile, cause in my heart it's not worthwhile. It's a bloody battlefield where some go down, others heal. In the end it's all the same. All you can do is play the game. Oh, do we say goodbye? Refuse to question why. I'm sad to say I'm sorry, so lie. Pretend that you're okay. Swear that you will stay. Keep trying for one day. I'm sick of all these lies. Don't care if I capsize. There's nothing left for me to hide. Don't wanna live a lie. Too many lows, too many highs. Too many things to criticize. And so I leave it all behind. Don't wanna live a lie.
We're not the same, we're not the same. We're not the same, we run everything. We're not the same, we're not the same. They ain't got us running through these veins. Make way for the king.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry for the wait. So we are here now for Tier 2 at the chaos that is Monaco. Alright, we can jump straight into it. Now in the session, so let's get everything set up. Able to kick things off. Alright, so I will be joined by Band later on. He will jump in soon enough. So as for now, we are in the qualifying session. 17 minutes left on that clock. We'll see who decides to come out of that pit box first. For those of you who are still watching, thank you very much. Also, Big Booty, thank you for the follow. Happened during the break there. So I can see. So last week, Stars did not compete, which means Simdog has now climbed up to 2-point difference, finishing third at Spain. Correct myself there. Recognized to not driving as my FFB isn't working. That's unfortunate. So what have we got here? 18 cars on the grid, and yet nobody has come out of the pits. Ooh, nope. In the first gear. Dry, they just loaded in. Oh, okay, right. Fair enough. There we go. So we can see, and it's LJamp who will be coming out of the pits first. No, it's one of the Williams. Simdogger, I believe. There we go. Okay, jump on board with second in the championship at the moment. Two-minute desync. I love it. Red Phoenix, is this an open lobby or a league? We are a league. Yes, we are a league. We hold 2 tiers. Bunch of people coming out laps now. This is good. Slowly but surely make their way out. Now, let's see if we have a calm and collected race, or whether it's just as chaos-filled as Tier 1 was. Interesting, to say the least. Fine in the chat there. Combat going for qualifying medium. Yep. I wonder if he's putting in a banker lap and then switching to softs, or if he does actually want to try and get in the top 10 and start on those mediums. Jump on board here with Simdogger. First car on track. First car on flying lap. Let's see what the Williams racing driver can do. We saw a 108 from Reefo Tier 1. See how close the Tier 2 guys can get to this. Simdogger always good on pace. Had a very interesting incident at Spain where his game didn't even draw car next to him. I'm just trying to remember who that was. I believe it was Artanis that ended up getting collected there. Big mess. Luckily, no love lost. Smitty is confident tonight. Of course he's confident tonight. The 8-ball predicted his win, didn't it? So here through the tunnel. Never get sick of that noise. Down to Nervo, which came hard on the brakes. You want to try and keep as much of that left tyre on the track as possible. Nice and validated. Now Simdogger is coming very, very fast. Touches the wall, but still valid. No damage, but he is catching up to one of the Red Bulls. Touches the wall again. Hopefully Nut doesn't get in his way. I don't think it'll affect him. Into the DRS. Across the line. What do we look at? 109.659. That will start us off here in Tier 2. Jump on with Stars with his coming for his flying lap now. LJM crosses the line at 111.9. Tonight words are hard. I apologise, chat. Here comes Stars across that line and start that flying lap. We'll see where he can place on the timing tower. Artanis with 109.774. Saxo with a 112.6. Words are hard, it's okay. Oh, Alex, what is happening? Quick shout out. Anybody likes Zelda and anything Zelda related, also speedruns, go check out that channel. Alexandra Lynn. Absolute top tier streamer. Are words hard tonight because your legs hurt? Not Dylan's Amazon Prime. That okay. For those of you who are wondering, that is the world's biggest inside joke. And yes, my legs hurt because I went on a mountain bike ride. God damn it. Oh, I hear a band as well. Hello, band.
Hello. Hello. How's it going?
Not too bad. All right, so here comes Stars. He'll cross the line. Where's he going to set? A 110.3 to start things off. So Simdogger still on the top of that timing tower. Let's see. Psycho's come across with a 112 as well. And Combat with those mediums with a 111.3. Pondon with a 110.3. So what are you expecting tonight, Ben? What are your thoughts on the R4 Tier 2?
Well, I'm expecting a bit of chaos, being Monaco. I think it's going to be very tight, and track position is going to be key, obviously. Stars, Simdogger, Fever, all potentially going to be in the mix, I think. You know, and Pondon's already put in a reasonable time, so he might be up there. And I'd also keep an eye on Combat. He's done an 11-0 on mediums, and he normally does that and does a late soft run, so he may be one to watch.
Oh, Smitty! Drifting into St. Devoux. Not great for the lap time, but perfect for us. That was that was something. And he kept it too. Well done. But yes, yes, track position is everything. We saw. I believe I was saying it on stream. I think I might be right. Flyboy did everything humanly possible to try to get past you, and it just wasn't happening. And it was just like not only is Band good at defense, but he's also on Monaco, which helps that further.
Yeah, I was under a lot of pressure from a couple of drivers throughout the race, but yeah, happy to get first points for the season.
That's definitely good. So 9 minutes 57 left on this clock. Simdogger is still on provisional pole. He is currently on an outlap though, so he'll be looking to improve on that. We'll stay on board with Zudix, however, as he comes across the line. See what he can do. As we still have drivers from 12th to 18th to set a time. Or Saxa is in the way, pulls over to the left. That's the dangerous thing too. Qualification laps on Monaco can go very, very wrong. We saw that with Revo, as I believe it was Big Al ended up punting it into the wall, and Revo ended up losing his front wing, or sorry, the end plate of his wing because of it. So sometimes things can go wrong. Nice use of the gears there. See, very, very risky. So those low gears, when you push that torque and the tyres end up spinning, we saw a couple of people get caught out by that a lot, actually. Got to be very, very careful. It's sometimes it's too easy. Big Al got hit big time. There was a massive chaos between. Let's see if I can remember here. So I think it was Mick Al, Major Payne, Shrimp possibly, and Big Al. And during all that hype, Big Al ended up putting just a bit too many beans and put it into the wall. So, oh, jazz! I say it. Zudix almost mimicked the same thing, but he'll cross the line, and it's technically a valid lap, a 114.3.
Simdogger's just invalidated his flying lap. But yeah, one thing is really important, that if you have a bit of a moment, you have to make sure you haven't put too much temperature into your tyres, because I had a little bit of a coming together with Matzoid at one stage, and yeah, we both kind of half spun, and unfortunately he lost it a couple of corners later. I think the temps were just too high. So yeah, something to be careful about.
I'll also be interested to see what tyre strategies Tier 2 go with. We saw a couple of different variances in Tier 1. A bit of a controversial issue with one of the top 10 qualifying on softs, but starting on mediums. A bit interesting.
Yeah, I'm just watching Fever at the moment. I do have something to mention about that, but Fever's about to cross the line. Woof! He pips Simdogger. Wow.
109.6. Okay, so 109.609. So he has tipped Simdogger down into second. So last week it was Fever, Simdogger, and Smitty fighting for that. No, Skins as well. Skins was up there as well. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's see what happens. So I'm currently on board with Stars now as he makes his way through the tunnel into the Novell chicane. 6 minutes 55 on that clock. See if Stars can put up there. Obviously, whatever happened there? Oh, he invalidated. That's why he's doing that. Fair enough. And his ERS is about halfway. I don't know if he'll be able to. Oh, he's lost a wing. No, never mind. He went right over the center of the swimming pool there and lost it.
I was going to say about one of the drivers starting on the medium tyre. So I think he joined mid-session in qualifying, and I believe it's a bug that sometimes it'll put you on the wrong tyre. He attempted to change it, but yeah, the game did not allow.
Oh, okay. Oh! Hold up.
Are you right there?
Can I don't know if I captured that. But we'll have a look at that in a second. So here's, we'll stay on board with Keeper and see what his lap time's like. A big Q9 moment. If nobody knows what I'm on about, I will make it painfully obvious in a second. Now, unfortunately, I don't have slow-mo ability, but... Oh, okay. So... Oh my god. Alex with that 5 tier 1 sub gift. I told you, people. Top tier streamer. And generous. What's not to love? Law Fat with the follow as well. Thank you very much, sir. So, 5 lucky viewers with that tier 1 subs. So, Keeper coming around the corner there. Let's see, what time are we looking? Had a 114. Is it an improvement? Yes, 113.1. Not bad at all. Now, let me try and point out why I yelped like that. So, I'm switching between the drivers here. I noticed that Keeper is about to start a lap. Keep an eye on the right side of your screen. Keeper is in the pit lane. Starting his lap.
Gross.
And Smitty is coming out. That's why I thought they were going to collide, but he actually ended up making it work. So that was nuts.
Simdog is about to go for a lap.
Yep, let's jump on board. So Fever still in that provisional pole. See if Simdogger can knock him down a peg. Crosses the line. A little bit squirrely, but catches the car. I don't think it's going to affect him too bad. Interestingly enough, though, Stars, who you would expect to be on the close to the top of that timing tower, not being able to put together a blaster yet. Smitty and Artanis up there as well with the 109.7s. Oh, over to the side. Way through sectors. So the Novell chicanes really make or break. But he nails this bit. Yep, plays it safe game. Slows down a little bit more than you have to, but as long as you're not invalidated, I guess. Oh, so close to the wall. Flying there through the swimming pool. Clicks over. Perfect. Now into Raskas. Oh, lock up on that front right. Gets sideways. That scrub's going to hurt. Into the DRS. What time are we looking at? Is it a beat? Or is it just a bit? No, he does it. He does it. So that is amazing. Even with those tiny mistakes, still ends up taking provisional pole with a 109.5.
And Fever invalidated his flying lap at turn 1, so he'll have to go around again.
This Smitty.
think Nuts about to start a flying lap.
On board with the Red Bull. Makes his way through the swimming pool now. So 2 minutes 20 left on that tower. Simdogger in provisional pole. Go. Crossing the line, starting his flying lap. Currently 11th, his teammate just ahead. 111.07. And I have to say, the times, so from 1st to 8th is all within a second. From 9th all the way to 15th is also within a second. This is a close grid.
Very much so.
Jacob Meister in the chat. I've seen Smitty go into the low 9s. Alright. I want it. Smitty, I want it. Unleash the Honda beat. As thank you for the follow, Stenner. Much appreciated. Nuts had a couple of little scrubs here.
He's up. 7/10.
He's massively up on his time, actually. There could be a 1 second benefit here. We'll look on up, but it's not too bad. Here we go, around that final corner. Let's go. Unleash the max. Down the straight, cross the line. 110.26. That jumps him all the way up into 7th place.
And not bad at all.
That is very well done. Ton of people now preparing for their flying laps. We'll stay on board with Smitty as he's now set the bar for Smitty. So if you don't make the low 9s, blame Jacob. Thank you for the follow, hero. Much appreciated.
Combat's currently on a lap. He's a second up at the moment.
Allowed Combat to get past there, so we'll have a look at what time Combat will get. He goes into the DRS, and does he improve? Yes, 109.934. Jumps up into 5th place with that. And now it's time for Smitty to unleash the beast in the back of that car. See if he can improve. Yes, okay, good. He gets out of the way. Have Sector 2 and Sector 3 yellow flags. One of the Ferraris doing the same. Just getting out of the way. Mr. Dowry himself, thank you for the follow. 3LKKU. I don't know how to pronounce that, I'm sorry. Alright, so that is time on our screens, but of course, still a little bit extra for the drivers. He's still on a valid lap. I don't know. It looks like he's going slow. So he's looking to start again. Trying to get as much charge back in the ERS as possible. But we'll stay on board. I have faith. I have faith. It's the DRS. Let's have a go. Come on! Stars retires from the session there. So Stars starting in 9th place at the moment. Interesting development from the championship leader.
Maybe he's trying to start from 11th.
Oh, Smitty! Don't do that! Yeah, that's obviously...
Simdogger's up by 0.13. Coming into the final corner now.
Simdogger will cross the line. Is it an improvement? And it is. A 109.236. Now the question is, will that solidify his lead? Because FIBA is currently on a lap. We'll keep an eye on what his sector time is like as he comes through Sector 2 now into the Novel Chicane. It's valid. Prin 22 retires from the session. Let's have a look. And he is up on his time by 4/10. This is going to be close. Simdogger with a 109.235. Can Feber knock him down a peg and start at the front of the grid into the DRS section? Hugs the wall. It's going to be close. Oh, 109.093, and Feber in that last lap takes pole position. Ooh, a great start for the Racing Point. Simdogger will feel a little bit singed, but he can't complain with a second place start.
Keepers up on his time. Is going to improve. He does improve, but not enough.
The 112.8. And for some reason, Pierre Gasly and Kevin Magnussen have jumped in. What?
What?
Sure.
Surely not. Surely not. Come on.
Sure. Anyway, thank you for the follow, Roselle. Much appreciated. God, I really hope I really hope Pierre Gasly and Kevin Magnussen don't join as AI.
Oh man, that would be such.
That would be very unfortunate. Who are we waiting on? A couple guys in the pit there. So Feber takes that pole position. Simdogger starts in second. Smitty in third with a 109.736. Now, he was on, to be fair, he was on par to do much better, but he just got away from him there. Artanis there with a 109.774, starts in fourth place. Skins up there in fifth, alongside his teammate, Combat, sixth place. Pondon with a great result there, 110.087, starting in seventh. His teammate, unfortunately, in 13th. Nut in eighth place with a 110.2. Stars will start ninth. It stands right now with a 110.3, and Trin will start in 10th.
I'm hanging to find out what's going to happen.
Yeah. No, that's... I don't know. So there's pole position there. 109.093, Simdogger, Smitty, Artana, Skins, Combat, Pondon, Nuts, Stars, and Trin make up that top 10. Newell, Decelerate, Saxa, Psycho, Bully, L-Jam, Zudix, and Keeper make up the rest of the grid. So...
I don't see any AI at the bottom of that grid, so...
Neither do I. We'll see what happens there. It'll be interesting to see how everyone goes with tyres. I mean, obviously the top 10 will start on the softs, but we'll see what the guys below decide to do.
Yeah, I was on the hards for a while. They didn't feel great, if I'm honest. But yeah. But like I said earlier, you know, track position is key here. So if you can get on those hards, stay out of trouble, you know, could work in your favour.
So we just got to wait for everyone to load in. I see no AI. Good. Ali in the chat. Kevin will bring home some points for sure. Sure. Maybe. Over the last 6 races, Keeper has finished 18th 3 times and he's qualified 18th. Maybe he break. Doesn't he drive a Ferrari?
Yeah.
I mean,
Leave George Russell alone. Oh dear.
oh, like some people aren't connecting into the session. Might be an issue. Now, if they get back before the
No, well, it was if you get back when the cars
there we go.
join.
It's fine. It's fine. It'll be fine. He's joined in before Pierre Gasly and Kevin Magnussen. Yep, L-Jam's there, and we have no AI. Good.
Yay!
Good.
Whew, you can never be too sure.
Yeah.
All right, so we have Keeper at the back starting on the softs, and also Newell and Decelerate in 11th and 12th, deciding to start on the softs. Saxa, Psycho, Bully, Eljam, and Zudix all on mediums. So, very interesting decision there from a couple from 11th to 18th.
I'm going to be honest, I don't understand the keeper softs. I guess he's looking for that early jump and trying to...
Maybe he's just trying to get the soft tire out of the way and, you know, maybe he's expecting to damage a wing and come in, put the hards on, go to the end. Who knows?
Jacob Meister in the chat, Ferrari strategists. It's just a keeper thing. Fair enough. See how it pans out. So FIBA leading the pack for the formation lap around Circuit de Monaco. One of the most famous and infamous tracks on the calendar. The dual Monaco. Also, interestingly, a majority of drivers choose residency in Monaco. I don't really know why. I guess it's just good sights.
Yeah, wouldn't want to pay tax. I mean, you know, travel too much. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, it's just a great place to live. Now, I'm gonna have to keep an eye on this because I believe something happened there with that rejoin. Not too sure. Just let me know, chat, if you start to see some stuttering and whatnot. Not sure exactly what's going on, but OBS might be yelling at me. So we'll wait for those lights to go. Hopefully we can... There we go. The race is on. FIBA gets a decent start. So does Simdogger. Smitty up in the middle there as well. Side by side from the Alpha Tauris as they go into St. Devo. And right now it looks like everyone's got through clean.
I see a little bit of carbon fibre.
Accelerate there. Neil jumping through. We'll jump on with Saxa. As he moves, tries to go on with the inside. Neil cuts him off. There is carbon fibre and it's yellow. So I'm going to say Pondon's missing a wing. As Saxa goes for the early move. Oh, one of the Ferraris loses it as well. And Bully makes up. Oh, whoa, there is a car parked on the hairpin.
Yeah, that's the McLaren.
Oh, Zeus, Skins can't go anywhere. Skins cannot go anywhere. That's so unlucky. He just couldn't
I don't know
move.
how he ended up there.
He just couldn't move because everyone was coming through and he did the right thing, waited for all the drivers to get past.
Oh, Smitty is lost his end plates left and right. Oh no, just his left. But he hit the wall pretty hard. Smitty's coming into the pits.
Bieber sets the fastest lap there. Let's
Pondon coming into the pits as well and Decelerate.
free parking square. Oh, that's a good one, Jake. That's a good one. Eljam with the fastest lap now. What?
That's a decent thing.
Hold up.
Hey. That's a legit time of what was it, 7 seconds?
Here we go. 7.457 seconds. Woo! Monaco's a fast track, but damn.
Revo better watch out then.
Oh no, so we're going to have to manually find out what the fastest time was. Well, you'll never see that prompt ever again now throughout the rest of the stream, so we'll just keep checking with the timing tower. That'll be an easy way as Stars collects onto the side there. Fortunate. And it's lap 2 and already the times have just exploded outwards. I'm on board with Psycho here, who seems to be chasing down Saxa quite well. As lap 3 starts, so DRS is now enabled.
Just like to mention Keeper's up into 13th place. But I think he stopped, I'm not sure. Oh no, no he hadn't.
Good initial start there, we'll see if he can keep it. Psycho maintaining that 1 second gap, but it looks like Saxa is getting away from him.
Newell's got some front wing damage, which means Bully is putting plenty of pressure on him at the moment.
So how many safety cars do you expect?
I'm going to take a punt and say 1 VSC and 2 full safety cars.
Okay, 2 full safety cars, 1 VSC. How about you, chat? The 8 ball. Seriously, best thing ever. Best thing ever. Gets asked, will there be 2? And the 8 ball says you will have to wait. Okay. What do you think, chat? Put in your opinions. Hero says 2 full and 2 VSC. Oops, that's a lot. Well, Saxa. I think Sax's got a better exit out of here. Will he use his ERS? No, chooses not to use the overtake button. I mean, the draft is strong, but not that strong, as we have a Sector 2 yellow flag, and it looks like one of the Alfa Romeos is in the wall at the hairpin.
Yep, that's Artenis. And he's lost a lot of his wing there on the left-hand side.
Jacob Meister, 1 VSC. Lawfat says 2 VSCs. Matt Dabry says 4 VSCs and 1 safety car. I don't think that can happen. I think they can only...
There's a maximum of 4 safety cars of any description.
Yeah, okay. So Matt Dabry hoping that Codemasters has in fact bugged
the safety car. I mean, it wouldn't be the first one.
Yeah. Oh, 5. So it's 5 SCs in total. Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. Oh, Stars picks up a 3-second time penalty there. Multiple warnings. Oh, look at the camera angle. Oof, swimming pool.
Tennis into the pits. Nut up into 6th place now. So currently the big movers are Skins, obviously down 13, and Smitty down 12. The biggest movers forward would be Bully and Keeper, both up 7, and Stars and Trin, both up 6.
5 of 39. Fever still in the lead of this race. Simdogger close on his tail. Stars, F1 and Trent. 3rd and 4th. Saxa holding this gap to Bully, but to Bully. Hilarious. As they come through the tunnel, Saxa's probably going to make a move. Bully hits. Oh, that's rough. That is so rough. Bully sat in the center of the track, and Saxa goes to make the overtake, ends up scraping. I don't think he's lost any wing, though.
No, he has. He's lost his left end plate.
Okay.
And he's probably going to lose his right.
Looking good.
Right.
Oh, now Psycho's caught up. There might be a move here, but while we say that, let's jump on board with Trin, who is currently chasing down Stars in the Mercedes. Time trial wall ride strats from Saxa. Oh, Trin. Almost let the car get away from him, but lightning reflexes. Keeps it together. That hairpin combat lying in wait. Teammate unfortunately in 18th. Oh, Trin is going for it. The overtake button is on, but Stars must be doing the same. Both on that soft tyre.
Just watching this battle out front. Simdogger just had a gentle graze against the wall. I don't think he got any damage.
Go into the DRS zone. Yeah, the overtake button doesn't come on. Stars will stay ahead for now. Oh, there's the better exit. Oh, Stars got a pretty good one. I think Trin's going to be able to catch him now. We have a Sector 2 yellow flag, and it's one of the racing points.
Zudix. He's lost it on the exit, and he's damaged his wing. And he just stopped as well.
Oh, Trin took that hairpin so sharp. Gotta have a warning for sure.
So Combat timed his pit stop reasonably well. He came out just in front of Artanis on the hard tyre. He's got a little bit of clear air in front of him.
Stars is doing a great job. Oh, but he goes so slow through that last section, and Trin, oh, not a good move. The Stars pulls into the pits. Trin will stay out. No damage though. We're back here with Eljam, who's encroaching on Smitty's personal bubble. Smitty might have actually just overtaken him. Oh, Smitty is away. Look how fast he is. Zudix is coming out of the pits. Oy! What is that going to look like? No, everyone's okay. I thought Zudix might actually come into some really bad traffic there.
So Stars and Smitty both have stopped. The only person behind them that hasn't is Eljam.
Sitting 10th. Pondon gets past.
Oh, Smitty!
Yep, the Pondon is still missing that right, that front right end plate. As we have a second yellow flag, it looks like it was the Mercedes. Smitty has something to prove. He is blasting around this. As Stars loses that end plate, I think. Yep. Oh, I think so.
Oh, and Psycho's lost his whole wing.
Psycho comes in. Smitty avoids due to ghosting. Mindy doing a great job. Oh, why did I talk? Oh, and just as I say that, he goes into drift mode. That's going to cost him some time.
Ooh, a bit of an update on the cars out front. Sim Dogger is missing his left front end plate. And he is losing a lot of time now, so I'm guessing it's only just happened, and he's coming into the pits now.
Psycho just came out of the pits and immediately lost that front right end plate. You might have caught that on the screen as Keeper was looking for an overtake. That is not good news for Psycho at the moment. His teammate traveling well in 7th, but Psycho's having a very rough race. Keeper keeping it clean. See if he can get past here. ERS is on. Oh, this is risky, but he's looking for it. He's looking on the inside. They do come together. That's a big hit. Psycho gets pushed off track there a little. And he lets him pass. Does he let him pass? No. What? He just tried to go on the inside and immediately got blocked off. Oh, have a look at Bully, though.
Yeah, Newell's still got that damaged wing.
Through the tunnel now.
I'd just like to mention, Sim Dogger has come out behind Stars.
Sim Dogger looking to undercut Fever.
No, he came in because he damaged his wing.
Oh, right. Sorry. That's right. You did say that. But Trim 22 picks up 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane.
Ooh, that's going to be costly.
That is a rough penalty. I believe Zudix copped that as well. As Neil comes in, so Bully will get a free position. Or he'll get 3 of them, in fact.
And Fever exits the pit, leaving Nut leading this race at the moment.
10 lap old softs, they can't be fun to drive on.
Maybe he's hanging out for that safety car.
Here comes Sim Dogger though. Stars is doing everything he can to prevent the attack. Sim looks on the inside. It's it. That doesn't fit. The car doesn't fit. It still doesn't fit.
Whoa!
Oh, Trin! Whoa! His teammate.
What happened there?
His teammate. That's it. Oh. Okay, hold on a minute.
How did that even happen?
Hold on a minute. Okay, I'm not going to switch yet because Trin's probably going to make a sick dive. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. That's not good. That did not work. You did it once. Doesn't look like you can pull it off the second time. That's rough. But let's go back to this replay. So we're watching Sim Dogger here trying to make a pass. He can't fit. They bump tires. He tries to do it again. Bumps it back. Nope, it's not going to work. And then Trin goes, "This is how you do." And squeezes right past. Wow, okay. Well, Trin comes into the pits now, so... Oh, Sim Dogger gets sideways. It's going to allow Smitty catch. Down with a 3-second time penalty there. So, lap 12 of 39, Phoebus still leading this race. Bully 7.2 seconds behind. Stars in third. Sim Dogger in fourth. Smitty catching up there in fifth. London in sixth. Combat Rat in seventh. Artanis in eighth. Ninth belongs to Nut and Saxa. Hanging out the top 10. Did Sim get any damage? I didn't see any, but he did come into the pits. So, oh, sorry. That was Trin. Trin was the one that got damaged there. Oh, he got a reversed car.
I think he clipped the inside of the corner with his left rear wheel, and we have a safety car.
Oh no! All right,
a full safety car.
Let's jump into the replay there. So, luckily, I didn't see it, but I'm sure the replay camera did. Bang, there he goes, spins right around on the Novell chicane. That's not... Alright, so, one safety car down. Will we have another?
And it's not only just pit, I bet he'll be wishing I should have stayed out another lap. Because that would have effectively, may have put him up into the lead.
So easy to clip the Armco with the rear wheels. Bully massive winner here. Yes, it is very, very easy to clip that if you're not careful. You think you fit, but you don't. And that rear wheel decides to say hello. That's why it's so wicked to watch when they slow down the cameras as they move through like the swimming pool. They're like barrage and to back barrage and swimming pool. It's nuts how close they get to that barrier. So the grid will compress. Now here's a question for you. Does Zudix attempt to try and unlap himself?
YOLO. YOLO. I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen? I mean, it's very difficult to lap people here.
So he'll be able to just drive through them, right?
In theory, yes. They should be ghosted. You also have to be careful about how you go about it, because it could be risky.
Alright, well, while we're waiting for the rest of the grid to form up behind the leader, Smitty comes into the pits. Chat, let me know. How is this restart going to go down?
I think it'll go better than Magello.
Oh, God, you'd wanna hope so. My Jesus, wasn't that a good one? What an interesting race.
I hope it's back for next season.
It was good. It was fun, right? But
I mean, it was kind of boring, but I mean, it was so different that I just enjoyed it.
But they really do need to. Either they need to enforce a single file behind the leader until they reach the line, or they really need to rethink the whole rule system for that, because that was a very, very poor restart.
I think it should be double file, and you got to be a car's length behind the car in front at all times. when they announce that the safety car's coming in.
Jacob Meister asking the 8-ball, is another straight SC after this? That's a tough one. You're not having good luck. That ball is giving you such neutral answers. The grid is almost close. We've got a couple guys at the back there making their way through now. Also, again, I doubt anybody from Codemasters is watching, but why did you make the safety car yellow on the mini-map? It used to be brown. There was no brown cars. Everybody was happy. Now, I look at it and I think, why is there a Renault leading this pack?
Yeah.
Why did they make it yellow? Thank you for the follow, Hayes. Much appreciated. Now I'm just nitpicking, to be fair. Oh no. Oh no. Maybe that 8-ball is just too accurate for us. Maybe it's too powerful for its own good. Lap 15 to 39, still under safety car conditions. Fever in the lead, Simdogger in second. Oh, Zudix, a 5-second penalty there for a collision.
I saw that, and he barely even touched him.
So he didn't ghost.
No.
Are they even on the same lap?
No, they're
No,
not.
of course not. He's a minute 14 down. Oh, Fever, please don't do that. please keep up to the safety car. Oh no, Reva, will Mika win another race this season? The ball says no. Ay. Will Reva win the championship? The ball says sure. Well, okay, so the safety car is in this lap, so this will be up to Fever to make the choice.
Well, he's back in the pack up now. The safety car is entering pit lane, so he can go from any moment now.
Oh, Skins gets hit. Hits up Psycho there as Fever pulls the trigger. As they come around that first... Oh, Fever got a great launch. He'll go unopposed into first turn. Let's go through the grid here. So Simdogger there with Combat just behind. As they come through St. Devo now. Artanis, Nut, Bully, Saxa, Newell, Smitty getting a bit sideways there as Pondon.
Artanis losing a lot of his front wing on the corner exit of turn 1. And he is in the wall again. Oh, he might be out here.
Newell and Smitty are all getting caught up. Artanis goes up on the side there. And he's getting... Oh, he's lost 4 positions already. Jeez, not a great restart there for the Alfa Romeo team. As we go to sector 2 yellow flag, and it looks like someone is parked on the...
There's a bit of chaos at the hairpin.
Yep, it's cleared. It's cleared, never mind. It's Keeper and Artanis trade places. And people are going down into the corner. Nice shot there from the helicopter. And in 8th. Being chased down by Pondon, who might actually profit from this safety car. Artanis with a 5-second penalty for corner cutting.
He's
having a
missed
lot of
the chicane.
Yeah, he's having
He just
a
couldn't
lot of
stop.
problems. Yeah, decelerate there with a 3-second time penalty. Oh, Smitty, what is going on with your handling, sir? Cannot rein in the bull, apparently. Go up through Massenet now. Everyone maintaining their gaps. Ooh, Saxon get wide there, Neil catches. London close behind. Smith! God, stop that! Oh, and he taps. He taps the Red Bull.
End plate. He's lost his end plate. And he's lost both end plates. Oh no, and he's in the wall again.
Oh no.
Oh, I think that was a punch of the accelerator out of rage there, and it's just hurt him even more.
No. This will... Oh, Simdogger picks up a 3-second time penalty. Oh my god, Smitty. He pulls over. That's a great move. But... Oh, and he spins! No!
He's done a stars and he's hit the chicane inside wall.
Oh no. It's an eventful one. It's an eventful race, as DRS is now enabled. Check the 3 yellow flags.
Safety car.
Oh no, you're kidding me. Yeah.
So I'd just like to remind everyone, I said 2 full VSCs, and we've got a Ferrari in the wall. That's keeper. Oh no. Ah. But yes, back to my gloating of 2 safety cars and 1 VSC. So getting close now.
Have we had a VSC?
No, not yet.
No, so it's been 2. It's just 2 safety cars. Okay.
That's right.
All right.
And
well,
we're at the halfway mark.
okay, so a safety car yet again. Lap 18 of 39.
All right, well, let's have a look at some of the movers now, shall we? So, Bully is up 10 places. He is the biggest mover so far. And then you've got Saxa, who's up 7, but he's just coming to the pits and losing those places as we speak. At the moment, for the people who've lost the most, it's Smitty and Artanis. Both lost 12 positions each.
That is.
Yeah.
Still have 20 laps in this race. At least, I guess Zudix is caught up now. Still his way through the pack. Now this just brings into question. That restart was fairly clean, I guess, but then yeah, it looks like Artanis got caught out, Smitty as well.
Yeah, a few drivers got caught out there.
ABR tempo, it is 9:20, or at least in my location, I'm in Sydney, 9:28. Oh, look at Jacob Master putting up both times. What the champ. Well, this is starting to get a little bit slow.
Yeah. Slowed down a
I'll
little
be
bit.
honest. I'm trying to think of things to say and I can't.
Yeah. Well, everyone's come in. Hopefully they've served any 5-second time penalties, replaced any damaged wings. I think, unfortunately, Zudix is still going to be a lap down. But, yeah.
How many laps does safety car stay out? I think we'll probably maybe one more. Keeper is very far behind.
Yeah, well, he had a lot of damage, so he's come into pit. Obviously, everyone's made their stops now. The top 6 only having stopped once, and Decelerate only stopped once.
Got that. Let's have a look. So, fastest lap. That would be Bieber with a 112.691.
I mean, he got an amazing start at the last restart. 1.5 seconds clear of Simdogger by turn 1.
He launched really, really well. Simdogger was not ready.
So, well, Fever, is he going to do something different? Or is he going to try that again because it works so well? Be very interesting.
So the safety car still not in. We'll have one more, at least. It's got to come in this lap, right?
Yes, this will be the third lap. Even though it's such a short track, it feels like it takes forever because there's so many corners and the safety car is so slow through the corners. So, but we're getting there. We're getting there, and this is allowing Keeper to catch back up to the back of the train.
Mm-hmm. Slowly but surely. Zudix is kind of... He's in a weird spot. He's stuck behind... Eve, that'd be Skins.
Yeah. And he's kind of not really close to the front, and you've got to be able to get past the safety car. Otherwise, you will get a penalty.
Safety car. Around the Novel chicane. We'll see a notification soon. Smitty in the chat, they're about to put this car in the bay. I mean, if you hit that arm curve barrier any higher, probably. Okay, there goes the safety car. Here we go. Beaver.
Yep, backing up the field already.
Up the field. I'm waiting for that 5-second penalty because someone hit someone else.
Oh, yeah.
Now, he is entitled to do this. Fever is within his rights.
Oh, right at the back, it's punching up. There
Yeah,
we go.
There it is.
There we
Yes. Alright, so here goes Fever. Oh, he's playing it smart. There's the trigger. Oh, and he launches away. Simdog is just nowhere there. Combat's pretty close. He's looking for an attack. He'll play it okay. There goes Nut, Baldy, Newell, Pondon. Trin 22 stars. We go back even further. Artanis gets 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags. There goes Decelerate, Skins, Psycho, Saxus close up as well. And there's L-Jam. Everyone else is just a bit too far back.
I'm not sure why, if this is wrong, but it's saying Smitty's on 16 lap old hards.
It is.
Surely he would have pit under safety.
I'm not sure. Not sure, and we'll find out, I guess. We'll see what happens. Here we go.
We have a yellow flag.
I believe it was someone in the Novel chicane. Keeper there with 3-second time penalty.
So Phoebe's pulled out a 2.5-second gap already, and Combat is right behind Simdogger at the moment.
These are some good gaps forming here. Keeper using the bits. Have a look at Nut. He might just attack Combat here.
Oh no! Smitty is in the wall, and he's damaged his wing again.
Not a good race for him. Not a good race at all.
No, it is not.
Beaver still with that 2-second gap. Combat's now dropped back quite a lot. Not catching up. Bin 22's looking to make moves. Ooh, Skins picks up a 3-second time penalty there. Oh, Skins is awfully close. He's side by side with Decelerate and gets past. Did pick up a time penalty. DRS is now enabled. Yep.
Yep. And Combat starting to drop off the back of Simdogger a little bit. This may leave him a little bit exposed to Nut behind.
Combat used all his ERS there. Skins used all his ERS there, got caught out. L-Jam with 3-second time penalty. Trin is looking to make a move on the Renault. He goes up on the inside, does the same thing that he did to his teammate, makes it work, gets the position. Pondon goes down to 8th. And Keeper is retired from the
he's out.
session.
Final corner. And it's a safety car. No! Why wasn't it a VSC? Come on. Ugh.
Did anybody say 3 safety cars? Oh, was it Matt who said 4 safety cars and a VSC?
Yeah. I don't know. We're getting a bit late in the running.
Big brain. Here we go. Big brain. Oh, this has got to be nightmare fuel for these drivers. I apologize, chat. Wish I could fix this, but I cannot. Oh, yet another safety car. Oh, this race will never end. Yeah.
Well, that's the first DNF for tonight, and it came on lap 24.
Jacob Meister, Keeper 18th. I said it at the start. That's rough. That is rough. Okay, so the safety car is out. Keeper.
And Zudix is out. I think he's realised he's not going to be progressing. He's been stuck a lap down for a while now. So that's fair enough.
Comes into the pits for the retirement. Put his car out of the track. Now we wait. See how many laps under safety car we have to endure.
I don't think it'll be. I've got the feeling they'll do this lap, and then they'll come in. It's like,
look at all the tyre wear. It's just the accelerators on 23 lap old hards.
yeah, they wouldn't be feeling too great at the moment. And if anyone's got a spare set of mediums, I mean, they would be great to put on right now. Artanis and Smitty have reasonably fresh mediums on, so they could have a significant advantage, as well as Saxa, 6 lap old mediums. Because yes, it's difficult to pass, but if you've got a big performance gap between tyres, that's a whole new ball game.
And he's picking up a 3-second time penalty there. All stacking against him at the moment. Safety car decides to stay out, so we have yet another lap.
And Phoebe is going to be forced to do yet another restart.
He's nailing him though.
He is.
Doing it really, really well. He's putting almost 2 seconds a gap from the final corner up to Saint Deveau. Bullion, Jacob Meister in the chat there. Bullion, oh, LJM and Saxa with a collision. There's a lot of those. There are a lot of those.
I wonder if LJM got any damage. Yes, he's missing his right end plate. Oh dear, oh dear.
Everyone is now bunched up. Smitty catching up from back in the back.
And Simdogger missing his left end plate.
Oh, Skins with a 5-second penalty there for the collision.
Last.
2 stars F1. And the safety car is in this lap. Okay, on board again. For the 3rd time tonight. Here we go at the same time. Surely Simdogger doesn't get caught out, right? Not for a 3rd time.
He's gone. He's got him again.
Oh, he's got him again.
Oh.
There goes Fever. There goes Simdogger as they come into that first turn. Combat. Nut, Bully, Newell, Trin, Pondon, Stars right up the back of the Renault. Will he make a move? Oh, he's looking for it. He's looking for it. Don't know if it's going to work though. He tries to go up on the outside. Nope, backs out. Down to Skins, Decelerate, Psycho. Saxes sideways and in to the wall at Massenet. LJM's in the pits. So Saxa loses out really, really bad there.
Oh, Smitty going for the dive on Artanis into the hairpin.
Makes it work. Jumps up a position. We'll keep an eye here on Nut, who coming through. Well, he is keeping a very, very close gap to Combat here. And you're now closing up the gap to Psycho. He's got the ERS moving. He's definitely keeping the gap. Massenet might be potential here. Oh, clips the back of the Mercedes there. Now he's going side by side. He's getting squeezed. There's still... makes it... Oh, they're still side by side. But Smitty comes out on top. Up into 12th place.
And the Alfa Romeo having a look. Oh, and he's turned Psycho.
Yep. Yeah, there it is.
And there goes his wing.
He's still in the race. Don't bring out the safety car. Okay, we're good. That's the yellow flag. Smitty is attempting to just pull in a China shop this grid.
Well, if he can get past Decelerate, Skins has a damaged wing in front.
Oh my god.
And so does Pondon. And we have a virtual safety car.
Alright. So, I don't know why that's happened. Smitty did collect the wall. But there's the virtual safety car. While we have that, let's have a look at the replay. So here comes Smitty. And this is an interesting one. So he gets squeezed again. A little bit of contact. No damage. And then Psycho completely backs out. And there it is. Gets the job done. So well done there, Smitty. He comes into the pits yet again. That would be something interesting to check. Let's have a look here. Detail. Stops. So Smitty is now on 5 pit stops.
Yep, and we are back under green flag conditions.
Pondon moves up into 8th there.
He's missing an M plate as well, still.
5-stop strategy. 10 laps to go in this race. It has dragged on. Oh, as Stars looked for a move there, luckily avoiding the back of the Renault.
Bully's picked up a time penalty.
Trin is looking at a good attack chance here, so is Neil.
Well, nah. Is he going to have a go at combat into turn 1? No. Oh, he's having a look. He's having a look. He's almost pushing him up the hill.
Tries to get on the inside.
Oh.
It's going to work. They're side by side now as they come through Casino. Combat still stays ahead, but Nut did look for it. Bully now wants to have a piece of this.
They're all jockeying for position here. Combat doing his best to do his Spider-Man impersonation of stopping the train behind. They are wanting to come past. He is on 23 lap-old hards. And everyone on much fresher tyres than him.
Jacob Meister in the chat. Combat mastering the art of the trolley train. That is brilliant. Thank you, Ghost Rider, for hosting. Much appreciated. Saxon with a 3-second time penalty there. Oh, these gaps are looking weird. They'll come through the swimming pool now. Fever still in the lead. Gap has diminished. It's only 1.7, but it's a lead nonetheless.
Oh, Smitty. 10 seconds.
Did he just blast through the...
I don't know. I'd hope not.
Oh, here we go. So Newell... Ah, Trent looks for the inside! He does get it done. But, that's a rough one as Smitty retires from the session.
Safety car. He brought out a safety car.
Oh my god.
That is 4
Wait a
safety
minute.
cars and a VSC.
That is 4. Okay, Matt. You win internet points, sir. You win internet points. 4 safety cars and a VSC. Wow. Looks like the 8 ball isn't.
I mean,
The all-knowing.
if I was somebody in Pondon's situation or someone outside the points at the moment, I'd be pitting. Especially someone like Decelerate, I'd be putting on the soft tyre and I'd be pushing hard to the end. That's what I would be doing.
That's. I cannot believe we've had 4 safety cars and a VSC. There's
Pondon comes into the pits.
He's listening. He's watching the stream.
Good.
He's like, oh, Cyril told me to come into the pits.
Well, he will have a clean wing and a fresh set of rubber.
This is going to be
He'll
a
be
mad.
miles faster than anybody.
Yeah, this is going to be a mad dash to the end now. And that gap to him and Skins, he'll come out ahead. Yep. Yeah, him and Decelerate both coming into the pits there. Okay, we'll see how this develops. For those of you, apparently 65 of you who are watching, I apologize for the lengthy Tier 2 race. It is Monaco. Now 3 drivers out of this race, 15 left on the grid.
Safety car will go around once more, I believe.
Starting to yawn.
I'm guessing none of the drivers will be really struggling for fuel at this point.
No, I can't imagine so. Can't imagine so. So that means the Mercedes has led more laps this race. By that I mean the safety car.
This is true.
Technically, the Racing Point is a Mercedes.
It's just older.
It's just, yeah.
I'm just watching on board with Trin at the moment. He's shifting down into neutral and revving. He's trying to get rid of as much fuel as he can.
That's clever. Trying to lighten the load, be faster towards that last stint.
You want to be careful of engine wear and engine temperatures, though.
Bring on the 2022 regulations, I say.
Yeah. Well, I think the field is almost caught up now.
See, LJM just coming out, was just coming through Portier now. I think the safety car will come in this lap. Oh, as they cross the sector. Yep, there it is.
There we go.
Back on board.
And Fever pretty much straight on the brakes. This may be an issue for some people. Please don't break your wings.
I'm waiting for that 5-second penalty window to come up.
So, again, Fever has the challenge.
Simdogger has to. I guess Fever just has a better launch. There we go. He comes around the corner. See it. So much better. Look how much speed he carries.
Yeah, but it's still that's a lot better from Simdogger on that
It is.
restart.
It is definitely. There we go. Combat Nut. Bully. Trin 22 looks up on the inside. And it looks like he might just pull it off. And he does. Gets up in a 5th place there. Back to Newell. Tanner. Stars right behind. Decelerate Pondon. Skins there in 12th. And Saxa catching up to Psycho.
Oh, it's all backing up at the heavy. Oh no, Psycho's been punted. Oh, and
Right.
Sax has lost wing, I think.
Skins was just ghosted there. Psycho was in his car. I'm not sure specifically what happened there. Jump up here to combat as they come through Novell. Thank you for the follow, Kenny.
Oh, look at Decelerate. He's all over the back of Stars. And Pondon's right behind him as well.
So, Honda and Decelerate will have that performance benefit because of those tyres. The question is, can they use them? If Pondon can try and get a jump. Sorry, they're both using ERS as they go through Massenet. Stars goes a little bit wide. Swings back to cut.
Ferrari had a look.
We're cutting. Seconds. We've got 4 laps left in this race. Fever is leading, but not by as much as he was before. Simdogger is keeping this gap alive. However, Simdogger does have a 3-second time penalty. So,
that's going to hurt a lot.
that is, especially the safety car restarts.
Well, it's lap 35, and, you know, barely anyone is out of DRS range at the moment.
DRS won't even activate until... Oh, Newell. Just avoiding the back of the Haas. I spoke too soon. Bully does get nudged. Tannis, there we go. So DRS is enabled now. 3 laps left at the end. Honda is looking for that inside. Accelerate does manage to keep ahead. Oh, Pondon is much faster up through Massenet, though. We don't want him to lose a wing.
He just needs to get a run. Easier said than done, though.
Good nudge. Oh, this is so close. In's coming around, Sacks are coming around. Everyone dancing these 2 lines.
I think
He looks for a move. He goes up on the outside of the tunnel. Decelerate tries to block him. Hits the brakes.
Oh, great move. Great move.
Honda does make the overtake and jumps into 10th place. Let's have a look at that real quick again. Here we go. Into the tunnel. He lines up the move. Shifts over. Gets it done. You can see the Ferrari does come in a little bit. A little bit of contact there with the wheels, but Pondon completes the move up into 10th place.
And he's got DRS on Stars now on the run into turn 1. But Stars take that defensive line. It's going to compromise him up the hill, possibly. No. Ooh, Combat. Having a look at Sim.
Oh, Stars got squirrely there. Does Pondon go on the inside? He's going to try and do it to the Mercedes. They're squeezing side by side as they come to that hairpin. Oh, he has to lock up. And now... Ooh. Just bounced off the front of... Oh, and I think Skins just lost the end plate. Yes, he did. He lost both. The rough one.
Oh, Saxa makes the move on Skins into the chicane.
Artanis looking at Newell. We've got a sector to yellow flag. Skins is DNF'd. He's crashed into the barrier.
It's too late for any safety cars, and they've all been used up now. Now Pondon. Is he going to be able to get past here into turn 1?
Came out a bit sideways in that last corner, so he'll be looking to try and maximize the exit speed in comparison. But his ERS is dangerously low, and Stars rockets up there, but have a look at Artanis now. Looking on the outside of Newell. Will he be able to get it done? Bully loses the position to Trin. Newell does get caught up in the mess as well. Up on the inside, he tries to keep the gap alive. Oh, Artanis bouncing off the wall. Everybody's locking up. Oh, it's not looking great. Oh, Newell bounces off the side.
I think he lost his end plate there.
Yep, and he's ghosted. Oh, not good. And Artanis now with so much more speed. Oh, but he gets pushed. He tried to go on the outside overtake. Got caught up in a ball. He spins around because of the Armco barrier. That's not good. Oh, that's cost him so many positions.
I'd just like to say, what a great job Combat's doing at the moment. 31 lap old Hards, holding on to third place. He's right behind Sim Dogger, and he's got Nut right behind him. He's doing a great job so far.
London right now is bumping Stars every so often. He's trying to just let me pass. Just let me go. Pondon, that is a great exit, and that's what he needed. Oh, but Stars force him into the wall. Oh, awareness 0 out of 10. And now Saxa, his teammate, is up in this battle.
Two Renaults in the points.
It's good.
Not biased or anything.
This is good for the Renault team. We've got to keep an eye on all of these gaps. It is the last lap. Nut might look for an attack. He tries to go up on the inside of Sim Dogger. It does not work. Now Pondon might try to do the same. He's looking for the inside of the Novell chicane. Hard on the brakes. Be careful of that barrier though. Stars blocks him out.
Stars got the penalty.
But picks out a penalty as well. We jump up into Combat here, who's looking at Nut and Sim Dogger. Nut is looking for that last desperate attempt. Fever will win this race. Nut is trying to do something. Combat as well, but there's really nowhere that you could go around. Pondon and Stars trade places now. Have a look at Saxa. He dives up on the inside. It's absolute chaos. Decelerate tries to go in. Saxa's been pushed sideways. It's crazy. They're going into the wall. What is going on?
What was that?
Oh my god, what? What a finish. What? Wait, okay.
Well, he jumps up to 11th. I'm
So
sure there'll be some kind of
Fever-
investigation after that.
Fever wins this race. Nut so close to Sim Dogger there. Newell in 5th, Pondon in 6th, and all I have to say as we watch this replay, here we go. As they come around the corner, we switch back, and all I can think is, Mr. Plow, that's my name. That name again is Mr. Plow. He drives him all the way into the barrier. Oh, that is too much. That is too much.
Turn ghosting off, they said.
And L Jam, driver of the day. Oh my god, what a finish. Congratulations to Fever, a well-deserved victory. Unlucky there for Sim Dogger. I believe he got forced down into 4th.
Yep. Penalties are playing a big factor in the final results. But Fever, what a drive. The amount of restarts, keeping clean, not letting anyone past. Oh, well, apparently LJam's won the race.
So apparently LJam won the race, so that obviously did. And so Fever, Combat, and Sim Dogger will take those positions.
Also, what a drive from Combat.
Yes,
Despite
definitely.
losing that position to Nut, he still finished second. Through, I don't think he got any penalties. No, he didn't.
So Sim Dogger comes out in 3rd, Nut in 4th, Neil will take 5th, Pondon 6th, Trin 7th, Decelerate 8th. I'm not sure when LGM actually finishes there.
Yeah.
All those, but we'll obviously have to go back and review. Unfortunate there for Smitty, Zudix, and Keeper, all DNFs. Skins there with that spin at the end of the crash. Ended that up back there in 15th. Alright, I don't really know how to finish that off, but hopefully that was enjoyable. I know it was long, I do apologise for that, but it is what it is.
Hopefully you enjoyed it.
Yep. Join us next
It was
week.
definitely worth the wait for that last lap.
Join us next week, of course, for more racing on Sunday. I believe we'll be doing 1990s on Friday as well. So
Possibly.
Possibly, yeah.
It's still up for debate. I mean, F2 seem pretty popular, or F1 2010s. So we'll just see. But we'll get something definitely sort of Friday.
okay. Well, hopefully you've enjoyed that, guys. I've been Kuno Zoo. This has been Band, and we will catch you on the next one. Goodbye for now.
See you later.